human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed.
That whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Prudence indeed will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes. And accordingly, all experience hath shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed.
But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security.
Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world.
He has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them.
He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless those people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only.
He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of their public records for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measure.
He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. He has refused for a long time after dissolutions to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise. The state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the dangers of invasion from without and convulsions within.
He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states, for that purpose obstructing the laws for naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands.
He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their office and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance.
He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. He has effected to render the military independent of and superior to the civil power.
He has combined with others to subject us to a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation.
For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us, for protecting them by a mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states.
For cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us, in many cases, of the benefits of trial by jury,
for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses, for abolishing the free system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule in these colonies.
For taking away our charters, abolishing our most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments. For suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with the power to legislate for us in all cases whatsoever.
He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people.
He is at this time transporting large armies of foreign mercenaries to complete the works of death, desolation, and tyranny already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation.
He has constrained our fellow citizens taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their hands. He has excited domestic insurrections amongst us, and has endeavored to bring on the inhabitants of our frontiers the merciless Indian savages, whose known rule of warfare is an undistinguished destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions.
In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble terms. Our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant is unfit to be the ruler of a free people.
Nor have we been wanting in attentions to our British brethren. We have warned them from time to time of attempts by their legislatures to extend an unwarrantable jurisdiction over us. We have reminded them of the circumstances of our immigration and settlement here. We have appealed to their native justice and magnanimity, and we have conjured them by the ties of our common kindred to disavow these usurpations, which would inevitably interrupt our connections and correspondence.
They too have been deaf to the voice of justice and of consanguinity. We must therefore acquiesce in the necessity which denounces our separation and hold them, as we hold the rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends.
We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America, in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do.
And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to ABC 247. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. Happy Independence Day to those of you who are Americans who are celebrating today. Today is America's 250th Independence Day celebration. On this day in 1776, the King of England, King George III, wrote in his diary, "Nothing of importance happened today." Nothing of importance happened today. 250 years ago, we now know that something of importance happened on that day. Just imagine how the world would have been without the 13 colonies coming together to form the United States of America. how would the world have been today? How would that have been if the place called Massachusetts is a country, the place called California is a country, the place today we know as Maryland is a country of its own? What would the world look like? So we're going to touch on that today on this episode of Have Your Safe, let's say 247. Thank you. I know most people are on holidays, those who are in America, but we are dedicated to this show, and we are coming live from New York City for us to have a conversation on that and so many other things. And some of the things we are going to have conversations around, we're going to touch on Africa. And you know, in South Africa, they finally had their June 30th protest, where they basically marched on the streets and demanded that foreigners should leave. It was dramatic on so many levels. We saw videos of South Africans on the streets threatening people, and we also saw when they went to where white people lived. And we saw them say that without foreigners, that the country could pay them $1 million their currency every day, every year, each South African. It's been dramatic. Let me show you a little bit of that video from South Africa.
I'm calling for my African brothers. I'm going to facilitate. I'm going to make sure. I'm going to visit these countries. I'm going to visit you, my brothers and sisters, in your countries to revive the spirit of Africa, to revive the spirit of Ubuntu. You must fight for your countries. If they kill you, they must kill all of you. You can't be scared of that, because even me, every day, yesterday I came late in the march because I had an intelligence that some people were waiting somewhere for me. I had to change 2 vehicles so that I can get to the march, because if I used my car to come to the march, I would have died yesterday. That's why I kept postponing the times, because the intelligence was telling me, there's things that people are trying to do. And thanks to the police, thanks to the intelligence, and all those that are criticizing us, they don't know that we go through such.
That was one of the leaders of the protests talking about the next move, going to African countries and convincing them to sit at home and fight for their countries. We're going to show you more videos from the protests, including when they confronted, when they saw white people, when they went to white neighborhood, and how that played out. In Nigeria is, of course, every week new drama. There's a big one that is going on. But before we see that one, let me play this for you.
He contacted US. He called a meeting of the big officers. What he told them, I don't know. And I don't need to know. Because he's commander-in-chief. And when the commander-in-chief is giving instruction to his subordinates, who are you to be there? And after all, and I need to make this one clear, I don't support those who are accusing the president of not doing enough. When the commander-in-chief had given instructions to his subordinates, he has done his bit. You don't expect him to go and put on khaki and when my friend Trump gives instruction to go and bomb anywhere, he doesn't leave White House. He has done his bit. I hereby command, bomb Iran. And then he goes to his bedroom and sleep. The rest is left to those who are supporters. So what he told the military officers, I don't know. All I know is that on Christmas Day, a bomb landed. Maybe just to let us know. I mean what I'm saying. But then, of course, the Iran war came in, and I think he's still busy dealing with that. He's almost finishing that now. So thank you that you you asked us to meet tonight, so that.
All right, so Nigerians had a lot of fun with that video. It was unbelievable. We're going to discuss that. This whenever he speaks, and he speaks in this manner, it reminds people. We have people say maybe it's time to hand over to somebody else. But we're going to talk about that. Before we go on and bring in people, let me also point out that the president of the country spoke. Yes, they had something that was interesting. I didn't even know about this until today. They had what could be called what they do in Washington here, which is when the president visits the media, and they call it presidential, what is it called? White House correspondent dinner, something like that. So they had a similar event in Lagos. Not in Lagos, in Abuja, I believe, and the president spoke.
Gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, my dear wife, the First Lady, Yalakara.
Now, that was supposed to be funny, you know. I hope it was funny for because there have been so much a blowback. People were pushing back on the way Nigerians were making fun of the First Lady for recommending that Nigerians should consider going into the business of selling akara. But the president said other things. Let's listen to him more during that speech.
Oil and gas sector is attracting new investments, and the stock market has grown remarkably 5 times higher than in 2023. I have created wealth for some of your uncles and grandfathers. Through reform in taxation, fiscal policy, infrastructure, and the business environment, we are laying the groundwork for a more competitive, productive, and prosperous economy. The journey is yet complete. Challenges remain, but the path is clear, and the foundation for long-term growth are being established. On security, our administration has adopted a determined and multidimensional approach.
So, Tinubu said, I've created wealth for your uncles and your fathers. I hope you guys, when you come in here, you check with your uncles and your fathers about this wealth. We need to talk about it. But it reminded me of something that Trump said this week also, when he was confronted about the $1 billion he made through crypto. Trump said this. Let's watch.
Mr. President, your financial disclosure shows you had a very lucrative year last year. What message does this send to average Americans, especially those
I don't get involved in my personal. We have funds that run my money.
But you are benefiting.
Well, I've made a lot of money before I became president, and they invest my money, and I don't talk to them. I don't even speak to them. So I have many people. I don't know what they call it, closed accounts or something. You put your money in, and that's it. I don't talk to them. They're big institutions, and they run it. But yeah, I've had a great career in business. I've had a great career.
About conflict of interest.
I don't know if I've had a better career in politics or business, but I had a great career in business. And you saw the cash, and you report the different things. And what they do is we gave it, I think it's called the blind account, but they take it. And I never speak to any of the people that run the money, but they're at big institutions and they invest in whatever they invest in.
But critics will say you're profiting off the presidency.
Well, you know why I'm profiting? Because the stock market's going up. Everybody's profiting. If you have a 401k, how's your 401k done? It's about up 85%. Thank you, President Trump. So we're all profiting. I'm profiting because I have a lot of money and a lot of cash, and I give it to institutions. I don't know if they know what they're doing or not, but they buy.
All right. So Trump is also saying that because the stock market is up, he created wealth, just like Tinubu is saying that stock market is up, he created wealth. People should stop complaining. All right. One last thing. We have a scam going on in Nigeria. We have an agency of government that was not. I don't know how to explain this. Somebody opened 34 accounts at the central bank. Somebody had an agency he's running out of the secretariat of the federal government with 300 staff. Somebody had an agency that got some money appropriated in the budget signed by the president. I can explain this for you guys. Watch.
APC administration, we have seen a scam in the right face of government. How did the man get a space in the federal secretariat?
Yeah. But I mean, you know who the president you have to go to get a budget code. How a non-legal entity got a budget code. How they got in the secretariat.
And central bank accounts.
The central bank account, they said forgery. So is it that nobody flagged it in the central bank?
This next story has Nigerians asking serious questions about accountability at the highest levels of government. The presidency has flatly denied the existence of the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, which was ironically allocated 1.3 billion naira in the 2026 budget. In a statement issued by presidential spokesman Bayo Ononuga, the agency's alleged Director General, Prince Adeniyi Adeyemi, is described as an impostor who forged his appointment letter. According to the presidency's statement, Adeyemi operated out of an office at the Federal Secretariat complex in Abuja for over a year, hosting meetings with foreigners and Nigerian officials, and even attempted to obtain U.S. visas for his staff through a note verbal from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, alerted the DSS and the police in October 2025 about the fictitious agency, and Adeyemi was arrested at his secretariat office on October 27th. The police raided both his office and his home in Suleja, discovering 34 bank accounts, 9 opened in the names of his fictitious agencies, and alleged evidence that he fraudulently opened a CBN account by deceiving the Office of the Accountant General. Adeyemi was released on bail and now faces an 8-count charge, including criminal forgery and impersonation, and is due in court on July 27th.
But I mean, you know who the president you have to go to get a budget code. How a non-legal entity got a budget code. How they got in the secretariat.
And central bank accounts.
The central bank account, they said forgery. So is it that nobody flagged it in the central bank? Is it that there was no second eye to flag it? How they opened TSA accounts?
Let me drag in another. Sorry, wait.
Drag it in.
We talk about Senate oversight.
Special prosecutor Jinika. Please take notes.
We have a full committee that's supposed to scrutinize line items.
Some of this rally make my blood pressure go up.
So I should get a filter sometimes, filter your thoughts before you say.
I'll continue to take blood pressure medication until
Why are you getting high blood pressure, Jonathan? Now,
I'm not taking medication for myself. I'm taking it for people like Paul and some of you guys that after the January, February something, and then people like Soludo that is a good spoiler. I thank God for his life. He's working for my.
And I am ready to die defending Nigeria in whatever way. When it is God's time for us to go, it is
and you
no
took
more
my
going
time
to
to
be
God. You are ready to defend Nigeria. I gave you my time.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Alexi, hold on. You already started.
What I'm saying, defending Nigerians is this.
I gave him my time and he's using it to defend
No, sorry. I'm sorry.
I hope that Nigeria wins. I'm never going to wish any president evil so that I can say I told you so. No, I won't wish them evil. I hope. You see, I'm not praying. There's no point. I can't pray for Nigeria to be fine. I only hope that Nigeria wins and Nigerians win. Because if you choose a dodgy doctor who has a dodgy record, who has, all sort of accusations leveled against him, to say this doctor, we think he's done this, or this doctor, this surgeon, yes, he's a senior surgeon, he's the most whatever surgeon, but there are a lot of accusations leveled against him. If you choose him to operate on you, and you tell me to pray for you that it doesn't kill you surgery, what's the point? I can't pray. You might make it, you might not make it. My prayer won't change anything. So I hope Nigeria and Nigerians win during Tinubu's 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uncle, right? I have the right to address Showore the way I like. You don't know what Showore did to me. So learn to control your emotion, right? That is the only thing I'm going to tell you. But if you don't want to control your emotion and you insult me here, I'm going to insult you 100%.
Okay.
You understand? You cannot insult me on a normal ground. Physically, you can't insult me, right? I will treat you like a child. If you insult me physically, I will handle you like a child. I don't care your age. Do you understand? You are powerful over the camera, so you can say whatever you want to say, but you can't dare say it to me physically. You understand? I will handle you like a kid. I'm not joking. You understand? So learn to control your emotion. You understand?
Okay.
Please don't take him out. I also have a right to respond because you mentioned my name. There's no need to take him out. All you have to do is to meet them or something. And you're taking too long to manage them.
Comment.
What did you say?
Comment.
I know, but he mentioned my name, so I'm asking to respond to him.
When he gets your time,
No. He mentioned my name.
If you want to make it rowdy, I will take you out.
Take me out, you son of a bitch. Take me out. You think you're a big boy because you're moderating.
Take him out, please.
Hello, come on. Don't use such word now.
Don't forget, that state is now an oil-producing state. So they now have derivation, if you are not aware. So if you want to speak for anybody, please do not defend a character like Yabelo. Please do not.
Okay, let me respond to him. 1 second.
Do not defend a character like Yabelo. Do not.
All right, thank you, Mohammed.
The people of that state.
Can I respond to him?
No.
Then go to hell. Rudolph, go to hell.
All right.
Rudolph, I've never seen this part of him before.
Tinubu is a criminal, yes, of course, a categorical grade 1 criminal. The only person more criminal than Tinubu in Nigeria is probably Babangida. But he's a criminal, and is he fit for purpose? Absolutely not. Should Tinubu be the president of Nigeria? Categorical no. Is there a better option than him? That is subjective. So show me who he is.
All right. Once again, thank you so much for joining us. It's Saturday, July 4th, 2026. It's a holiday here in America, and we are waiting for President Trump to speak to the country. He did one last night from Mount Rushmore, and he will speak again later on today, the big events in Washington, D.C. But we're here and we are going to have our normal show when we talk about issues concerning all of us in Nigeria, around the world. For those who may be interested in knowing that President Bola Tinubu is going to meet Trump, according to our ambassador, we have a new ambassador here, Kayode Are. He's promising us that that is going to happen very soon. So that will be a game changer for all the calculations. And we also know that the soldiers in Nigeria, American soldiers in Nigeria, they've been withdrawn. Most of them have gone. We don't understand what's going on. We can talk about that for us to put it in perspective. The state police bill that was passed by the Senate and the House, they just sent it to the states. So they are going to wait for 24 states in Nigeria to approve it. Then they will forward it to the president, who is most likely going to sign it. For this week, the person in trouble in Nigeria is Gbajabiamila, Femi Gbajabiamila. He is the person at the center of the scam that is going on in Abuja about that agency and Prince Adeyemi. We will get to that and all those stories. So thank you for joining us. If you are watching at home, please like, share. If you are on the comment section, I appreciate all of you. So let's begin the conversation. Let me bring in those who are already here. If you want to join us, please turn on your camera. If you're in the studio, I will share the link again for those who might want to join us. Again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Oriako. Tope, you make us be motivated to do this. Thank you. KJ, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rudolph. Good to see you. Mr. James, good to see you too.
Mr. James, welcome to the show.
Independence, 250 years, no big more.
Yes, so that's the first story we are going to touch on, but we will get to that very soon. Let's wait for another 10-20 minutes. We'll get to that because it's 250 years, and the question I want to pose for us to think about is, how would the world be like without the United States? What do you think it would look like? And then the other one is, when Nigeria is 250 years, how will Nigeria be like? What would you think? All right, but let's talk about that things first before what's going on, KJ, where you are? You're not going for cookout? Why are you indoors?
No, mine is starting by 5 p.m. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. James, it's a holiday here. And that's when Americans eat hot dogs, hamburger, and there's nothing else they do today, and watch parade and things like that.
Well, it means nothing to us. My circle of friends in the Gambia, it means nothing to them.
Yeah.
There are very few Gambians who are Gambian Americans.
Okay.
There are very few number. So maybe they will go to their embassy, I don't know, but in town, among my circle of friends, nobody has mentioned it to me.
Interesting.
Even at the university here, nobody is talking about it.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. There's this. Javier.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm 250 years strong.
Yeah, I could see. Are you in Texas?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell.
Okay.
Unlike KJ, who is still asleep.
No, the contrary is 1:30, and but the problem here, Rudolph, is the heat. We have 107 now. 107.
Wow.
Yes.
It's all over the East Coast.
That sounds like normal for Texas.
Yeah, we are not used to this here.
No, we're not. We're not like you guys.
We're not used to it.
We're the real bread, you understand? You guys are bush people from.
So before let's touch on a few things before we go into. I didn't mention anything about the World Cup. Do we still have? I think Egypt is the only country, African country.
Egypt and Morocco.
Morocco. Okay. Where are we now? How many teams are left? 8 or 16?
I think it's the round of 16 now we're coming into.
Okay.
But yeah, we're from the round of 32 to round of 16. Yeah. So.
Okay. So Egypt and Morocco. So okay, I saw not that I watched the game, but I saw highlights. The Cape Verde, they did very well.
Very well.
Yeah. Mr. James, did anybody watch it down there in the Gambia? Are you guys watching the World Cup?
I'm not game son. If I don't have time for things you are discussing, sounds so strange to me.
Mr. Jim, I promise you are better off. You are better off knowing what is going on.
I decided to. I watch only national teams, Rudolph, if you want to know, because I got so disappointed with Nigerian team that it was almost giving one heart attack. So I said to pull away from watching anything that has to do with all this. So I only watch national team where I don't invest any emotion or interest. Whoever wins. I don't care.
What do you mean national teams? I don't understand. You only watch national teams. They are national teams.
I don't get into the club things. Manchester, whoever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That this one is the nation. They are playing for their nation.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's the only time I watch football.
Oh, okay. I got it. Yeah. So for those who follow this, they only. Are you talking about Ovie? Are you saying that you don't follow this? I thought you are a sport guy.
They follow like as much like you. Anything I see for my field headline, I'll just read that. That's it. I don't follow I don't give them my time.
All right.
And plus, it's especially the moment that we are in now. It strikes me like the Roman circus. I mean, how do you explain that the war is at war? In fact, America is at war at every sphere, economy, kinetic, ideology, whatever. They are hosting, first of all, NBA final took place in New York, followed by the kickboxing that took place in DC, World Cup. I mean, how do you explain that? Why the world is actually changing in the real sense of it? Every one of us that is alive now, I've never experienced this time before. But for some reason, party is going on everywhere. So it strikes me like the Roman circus, whereby when the citizens are getting interested in the politics of palace, the man will just decide to go and build colosseums and throw games for people to go and watch and leave them to do what they are doing. So I'm seeing it from that lens. So I watch the game from far.
Okay. Let me just point out.
Sorry, Rudolph, before you go ahead, even though I just want to throw this in, maybe you get there later. You see how these guys go out, even though this weather is strong, they're still out there to celebrate, what is festive to them. And sometimes when we gather in our community, some people feel too big to come and join at the playground, join to do the festival. That's why culture and tradition is dying off in most part of Africa. We feel, it's left for the villagers and those who are not in, but go to the throughout. They are out there marching. People's parents are all out there marching, wearing uniforms. They make it look as if these things are dropping from the sky. Angels are doing this, And when it comes to our side, for instance, you are Igbo, so you must have Mongu masquerade this thing. Most of the people don't go to Mongu. They don't go to watch it. They tell you, this is for sport.
Where? You mean here or in Nigeria?
In Nigeria.
Not where I come from. Not where I come
from. I don't think you should see it from that angle. People you are seeing coming out celebrating, what to eat is not their problem. What to eat is not their problem. So we have not left the first stage of life whereby everybody,
okay.
Go to bed without worrying about
I continue to your argument. I agree.
Yeah, so this one are enjoyment. These are meant for rich people, they get spare money to spend. This is that's why they don't go people out from Nigeria, So economically we are not there yet. We are still very poor.
Okay. Thank you. I just want to point out that I don't know, last week I wasn't here. If you guys talked about the Venezuela.
that they deliberately brought it down. I've been like, okay, earthquake, sorry.
The earthquake in Venezuela. It's been 10 days and almost, I think, about 2,000 people dead. One of the horrible things about what happened there was the lack of equipment, the ability to rescue people, people screaming under houses, and nothing to help
I think
them.
the campaign should start for the international community should start campaigning for their president to be released, at least, if not for anything.
That's not the first place to go. It's about how we run the world. That a natural event like this that we know could happen in different parts of the world. There's no contingency plan for countries that do not have this skill set or the equipment to deal with that. You think about it, if this should happen in Lagos, buildings collapse in Lagos and there's nothing. We don't even have, it's not.
But who are you going to blame, Rudolph? You blame the UN, who that's supposed to be.
No, not the UN. Don't give every job to the UN.
No, the UN. Dr. Lameji is talking about preemptiveness.
Hold on, hear me out. So who is supposed to set up the contingency plan for another nation?
No, you can say that countries of the world, this is what happened after that incident. When it happened, America, even Spain, Brazil, everybody, they started saying, okay, we are going to send people to come and help. This takes a long time to put things together, equipment, and move them to Venezuela to be able to help. Okay, this has been going on in Haiti, happened in other places. I'm just saying that someone will have to come together, bring people together and say, what do we do? How do we have a contingency plan, a rapid response group, anywhere it happens that we can easily go and help people? That's
okay.
I think that is. So I think what you are pointing out is at the heart of the ongoing World War II. The conversation is going, how do we have one, I won't say one world government, but one response to pretty much disaster and how to take care of, things that go out of cellular pandemic. I think this falls into that category too. How do we have one response that no matter where it happened, before we begin to say, state government or regional government, that particular entity has swing into action. I think that's what we are talking about. I think if we lean into the left or the Democrats or the socialists or whatever who are agitating for multiculturalism, I think that's at the center of their campaign. And I believe one will win at the end of this.
This is beyond all these wars you fight. I'm talking about people dying, especially this kind of death where you might be alive under a building that collapsed.
Yeah.
But we can't stop. We can only stay proactive. That's what you are saying. How do we stay proactive?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the international community. I'm not even talking about,
Yeah, I understand.
But the international community, they don't dismantle around now. We are fighting to build another international community. There's no longer international community.
Yeah,
everybody has their
totally.
So we're in the process of rebuilding that international community. That's why they put onto that level that now it depends on the ideology that win. That's why we have that thing at the center. If not, every state will see the whole own ground.
All right. Before we continue, let me welcome Tony. Tony, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, Doctor. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, those on the panel.
Tony, bros, me. Enjoy.
Okay. Thank you.
How do you know?
Hello, Pa James. Obie.
All right, so we're just going through some stories in the news before we start. I'll come to you to know what story you're watching, but let me play this video again. Every year we have flooding across the world, including Nigeria, Ghana, most African countries. The difference is always how the countries are responding. Even in America here, you have flooding. Last year, there was a major one where over 100 and something people were killed, I think in Texas or so. Let me show you later.
There's one they show, the water swallow houses, they're drawing out the kids. I think they're life in the street.
Hey, careful, oh.
All right. In Ghana, I saw a video of their own flooding in Ghana, and the president of Ghana took a helicopter and went around to see what happened, the damage, and spoke to the media. Our president, we're still waiting for him to do that. But it's not about, there will be natural disasters everywhere in the world. You know, things will happen. The question is, how are you responding to that? Did you learn anything from the one that happened before? Are you making changes how to minimize? Anyway, Tony, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yes, I think you hit the nail on the head, because the difference between the developing economy, developing world, and the developed world is that in most developed worlds, you have institutions that stand by, that are focused on emergency action, preparedness, and rescue. You have institutions who are whose job is to predict, the oncoming of things like that, and therefore they begin to give out early warning signals, asking people to move or letting them know what's going to happen, the dangers that they'll be exposed to if they don't take certain actions. And then even a day or so when these things begin to happen, you begin to get signals and alerts, that this is happening, everybody evacuate, move, and so on and so forth. So, but those are for acts of nature that you can just come up. So the response team, actually go into action, and try to move people by air, or by sea or by road and so on and so forth, So you have all that. And then you have all the agencies, fire department, you have the medical, you have, all the agencies out there, to help people and sensitize people so that people who can also help can take people in and so on and so forth. But that's the difference. You don't find that in most developing economies because I think these things keep happening and happening and happening, and you don't see any such team, in place. And where they are, you are beginning to question, how the effectiveness of such teams, how equipped are they, how sensitized the people are over, such things. So you find these things happening over and over and over again. And I'm talking about natural, disasters like that. So our response, particularly in developed countries, is not as good as that of some of these developed economies. But the second aspect is there are also things that are not, you cannot classify as natural disasters. Some of those things that are man-made, for instance, one country just gets crazy and releases water from its dam without letting the neighboring countries know, against sometimes agreements, that are held. And so it begins to cause, begin to cause, overflooding, all over, down, down, down. For instance, if you have a release of water from one of the dams in Cameroon, they're going to see the impact as it goes down Benue and Niger River. And you're going to go around all communities that are within the coastal river. And it keeps happening. No action is taken. The same thing when you have in Chad or you have in Niger and so on and so forth. So these are things. So we haven't the various protocols, that some of these countries have, detailing how these things should be handled. Sometimes are violated, and nobody is sanctioned. Nothing happens. People die. Properties are, and then of course you also have this is worsened by the attitude of people who themselves, by their attitude and their lifestyle, also worsen this situation when they happen. People build, town urban planning and laws and so on are not strictly followed. So people build even in channels that are supposed to be ways that are open for water to flow out to the ocean or to rivers and so on. So you have quite a lot of that in Lagos. And sometimes when the government goes out demolition, there's always an outcry. But if you look, sometimes these are places where people build that are not approved, that are waterways or seaways or channels, So from our practices, the way we dispose of garbage and of course, sometimes government's fault not enforcing the sanctions. So that's why the effects seem to be more pronounced in terms of the disaster that it causes in developing economies. So these are some of the challenges. Keeps happening, we don't learn, and keeps happening and happening and happening. I don't know. So that's part of the problem. So you can categorize them into there are natural disasters, fires, hurricane. We're lucky in Nigeria, we don't have some of all those wildfires, hurricane, tornadoes and so on and so forth. Over flooding. We have in Louisiana sometime many years ago and causing quite a lot of stuff. So, but there is also one that is not naturally induced. It's due to acts of human acts, and that's even the worst. So those are two categories. How we manage them is what makes the difference between what we see in developing countries and those countries that are kind of developed.
Thank you, Tony. I know it's your area of you specialize in this area, so you can talk a lot about that. This is what the government did after the incident. I think it's the government that did this, or some concerned Nigerians. But this is, the kind of message they are sending out, that when you throw out trash, anyhow, they go to block drainage systems, and then it will lead to flooding. This kind of mess.
I think we need to understand one reality too. We have overgrown the facilities that we have.
What facilities that we have? What facilities?
Okay. So if we don't get at all before, it don't work.
No, wait. No, I'm not saying
no.
That. Okay. I want to know what you were referring to. Because I can tell you. Hold on. I can tell you that I'm not sure there is a place, trash can, for you to drop in trash in this place. If this is Oshodi, let's say this is Oshodi, I'm sure there's no place. And if there is, I'm sure the person that should take out the trash is not taking out the trash. If you look at the process, I think it's more than just passing across a message like this. It's also about lack of consequences. If you go,
but Dr. Damage, before consequences, right? Now, I'm talking about facility, infrastructure facility now. Let's even go to started from private, especially the city, Lagos, for instance. The houses that were built for 10 people before, we still wait with gutter that at least we accommodate 10 people. Now we have 30 people living in there. Street that accommodate 100, we have 300. Local government that accommodate 1 million, we have 2 million. So no matter how they provide all these things rich, we go to overfeed them. So there's always going to be debit of all this debt everywhere. I'm not making excuses for them. I'm just saying that the facility that we have in place to control all these things is not rich again. We have not doubled our population over the last 20 years. We have added under 120 million people. So what do we expect? So everything is congested. No matter anywhere you go, from villages to the cities, everywhere is congested. And there's no plan to even how to manage all these things that you are talking about. Let's say they collect all the trashes now, where they want to dump them. There are no government or private facility there that convert all these things to the, yes.
Okay, the issue is not population will always increase. It's increasing everywhere. So that cannot be.
So are the drainages, so are the facilities that you build.
No.
But we know they increase all those things.
Hold on. It is more the management of your infrastructure and the institutions that are supposed to deal with this sort of a thing. If you have planning laws and they are violated, it has nothing to do with the population. If you have planning laws that are not enforced, you normally will have urbanization. But if you have drainages, you have planning laws, you have people who violate, areas where you shouldn't be, areas that are drainage channels, you would have this thing, whether the population is small or not. Two, some of these things that they throw away, they call garbage. This is money that is wasting. This is investment for some people. that you can turn around to make money. So there are quite a lot of things that you have to put in place that are not in place. Okay, this
we are saying the same thing. Whatever you put in play, you have to make sure you double them. If you don't double them, you cannot meet up with the population surge. There's no way possible. If you live in estate in Lagos, for instance, all these Ajao estate, the Bowsing estate, everywhere they smell because all the sewage is done full. Now, where you want to evacuate and go, which is the end part that we are talking about, the facility that will transform the waste to the next level of use is not there. But most importantly, got away they accommodate 10 people waste before. Now they accommodate 30 people waste, which there's no end point. The end point has nothing has been put in place. So what we have to factor in the population increase. We know say population increase in 10% or 20%, 100%. That's something to factor into any planning we are talking about here. You know, increase by 20% or 30%. It double over 20 years, one generation. That's a number on the facility that we have on ground. If there's anything at all, you wonder why our road they break, no matter how the entire reach. Now overload.
Okay. All right. Ovie, thank you. We haven't started the conversation on any of the topics. I just wanted to point out a few other things. Let me do one more. We know sometime last week there was this threat that NYSC they're planning a reform, but they are going to change their uniform. They are going to change so many things about NYSC. I don't know how many people here went for NYSC. KJ, did you?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. James.
We still remember the song. You to be Clara Uncle.
Yes, I did.
You did? Okay. Ovie, did you?
Nah.
You can be president. All right. Tony, did you?
No, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Huh? I get waiver. I serve for.
Who gave you waiver?
No, I serve for you. No, I serve for uniform.
Is it? Are we talking to under Naji?
Wait.
No, if you serve for uniform.
Ovie, hold on. Waiver for what? What did you do?
If you serve as a uniform member, you can waive it. Yes.
What uniform did you wear?
I was a civil defender for more than 2 years.
Civil what?
Civil defender for more than 2 years.
What is
what's you they talk?
What is
those people they chop government money for
police? I'm a police officer for more than 2 years. If that will put a broader picture to it.
All right, Tony, did you serve?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So when you had this story, I don't know whoever is the Minister of Youth Development.
Is one Mumu man
Dele, saying that
I'm a young boy though.
He's going to change the uniform to something like this, like
Adire.
Was he kidding or what?
Is that the administration viewpoint? I mean, I think that's what I'm more curious.
I think he pulled back. He said he was just kidding or something.
No, he said it's not official yet. But here is my. You see, that guy couldn't have come up with this. If you notice, this thing came up from the grapevine. He's only the one who has mouthed it open. What they are planning, because you see, if it turns to Adire, all the Adire makers in the southwest will now have no more worry for the next 50 years.
KJ, why are you spilling these beans now? Why are you spilling?
No, let's get it straight. You know, this
was obvious.
You understand? So now, listen, the khaki that because he made some statement like he wants to put money in the local, bring money back to local. The khaki that we are wearing now is also made in Nigeria. It's not. They're not imported. Okay. In fact, some khaki brand of khaki they even use now is so terrible that you wonder which factory makes it. So now you're going to tell us that you want to turn it to Adire. Okay. No. So those Igbos in it will wear Isiago. Then the people from Port Harcourt will wear that wrapper and long distance. Then the thieves will wear their ange, the white, the stripe this thing. Houses will wear danshiki. So let's divide it so that all of us know that we are promoting, putting money in our local people. Not to only put it in the southwest. Let's put the money all over the community in Nigeria so that we all know that our community people are making money from NYSC.
All right.
You see, when you see such things, Rudolph, just get this is the primordial, very very primordial level at which these people think, and that's how the government could keep drifting away. Very primordial, very very insignificant thinking. No processing. No even get time to process what you are thinking. Just come out.
So So thank you, KJ. We will hopefully we'll have time to discuss that. This is what I want us to always think about beyond the specific. I'm not really interested in NYC and whatever, but the thing is this: they don't. Our government, the way they think, they don't. There's something they do here in America, in New York especially. They bring the people to be involved in the conversation before a policy is put in place. Tony, you might tell me what it's called. They give you 60 days of public comment on an issue. So you don't just wake up one day and say, we're yanking NYSC. You don't even want the input of the people, and you just announce it and go ahead and do something, which is, anyway, we have to learn.
Let me start, Dr. Dameji. I think this, in terms of the general reform, I think Buhari administration briefly talked about it. I don't know how far in the budget was the conversation around the NYC reform during the Buhari time. So they could argue that they just built on that, but I don't know if that was.
Remember that NYC didn't used to have a differentiation between who is a Muslim and who is a Christian. It was the same clothes, uniform that we all wear. So
they have a difference now.
Yes. Yeah. Now they put in that's what I'm telling you over here. What Buhari did, they only put in that cover that now you can wear Muslim. There's a particular way you have to dress. The women have to dress. This is what
interesting.
Sometimes you wonder. Now human beings, they run this country. I've been waiting. They even want to take that nonsense to the military and other places, but those people. Probably didn't accept to the high extent. So when shall we stop?
Okay,
KJ. Dr. Damages, I think what we should be looking at more in terms of NYSC is looking at the reasons why the NYSC was started in 1973 by Gowon. What was its intention? What was the motive? Now, if you look at today, can we still say that it's serving that motive, or that whatever is the reason for which NYU was set up? I think those are the things that we particularly need to look at. Because today, if you look at the NYSC program, a lot of people will tell you that it's just a waste. Because it has
I'll leave its usefulness.
Yes.
That's how they say. But yeah. I think what might be needed is that reform to change it. Any just like cars, they update the model and they change things. There are needs to change some, reform some things, especially with the reality of the country. If you say like some parts of the country are not safe for people, most people to go to. Mr. James, we are not talking about NYC. I don't want us to end up talking about it. I want us just to go ahead, briefly touch. Before we go.
The issue is that it's not NYC that requires reform. The entire country should be revamped.
You're right. You're right, James.
The entire country.
But we have to start somewhere. We can't start from the entire country. We can't start from the entire country. You can't close down the universities and say we are reforming the country. School will continue. The National League will be, soccer will be going on. Everything will be happening. We can't stop the war to reform Nigeria. Okay, quickly, one more thing I need to touch before this is Aisha. Aisha Buhari. The Aisha's people came out to, I think they are trying to claim their karatin that she started it wasn't Remi Tinubu, that she actually did it herself. But anyway, people had a lot of fun with it.
But I have a trouble pattern here that people are not seeing with this our first lady of a thing. If I remember very well, about 10 before how many years ago, during Patient Jonathan, when she cried when they kidnapped 2 girls, and she said she used the famous phrase, "Now only una waka come," and the whole country begin laugh at her, ridicule her. Fast forward to today now the whole country they cry, say that they kidnap their children. Now this woman is talking about, she will lay an example by to start a kind of business and all those kind of things. People who go school take it as an offense, forgetting that people will know where they are at this level, and then many pass. But most importantly, I will not be surprised 5 to 6 years from now, people go they cry and you have to pay to even register to sell their car, because the hardship that is coming, people are not seeing. The word that is coming, people are not seeing. it go worse too. So it's good to laugh at her at this point, but in the future, I'm talking out of experience. All of us laugh at the patient Jonathan when she was crying over these kidnapped girls. They laugh at her because she knows how to express herself. But today, the whole country, the whole country is crying. So go and start that kind of business. Yes.
I don't agree with your analysis.
No, you don't have to agree. You don't have to.
I'm just telling you,
You don't have
they do not come to that. Listen, listen, what are you saying, Ovie? This is 21st century, crying out loud. A country leader is wishing, even if they are not educated, is it only by education that people progress?
What is wrong with that?
Hold on. In the olden days, when we were still in primary school, I mean, when I say olden, I'm talking about 78, 79, okay? We had vocational centers, trade schools that were built by the missionaries and other forms of government. So that those who didn't go to school or who were not, who didn't have the opportunity of even learning, who are past the age of learning, went to those vocational schools. They learned carpentry. They learned all kinds of things. Okay? Now, what stops the government from re-establishing that? Those are other asking people to fry akara. The same akara woman you're talking about, tomorrow if he puts out her frying pan at the street, look at what's going on in Abia. Look at what's going on in
my question still remains that my question I ask you, what is wrong?
It will never
I heard you now. What is wrong? What is wrong in doing that?
Hold on. You see, what is good for the geese is good for the gizzard.
Okay.
Now, if Uremi Tinubu is recommending that Nigerians now begin to fry akara because or kuling ashikola. Now, how many of our relatives are frying akara and selling kuling?
They cannot fry akara. They are not, see, that's the problem we are having.
So, hold on.
Hold on. Now this is here.
Wait, make I talk now. You keep jumping in.
Now this intellectual of 18, they make us they think like this. Go ahead. Finish.
Listen. All I'm simply saying is, why God has given you an opportunity to be in a position of leadership is for you to be able to craft a way forward. It's for you to be able to show the people a place that you are taking them to. Are you saying that you are taking Nigeria to a place of selling akara? That's what we are going to get in? No, you are showing them a destination that they are not able to imagine, which will bring them to another level. No leader who comes, look,
you keep beating. See. Our problem. Hold on. Our problem. Hold on.
Is it by pointing at people backwards or pointing at people forward?
See, so frying akara na backwardness.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. See, this explains exactly where we did. This explains exactly why I go to support prisoner of Pablo when you start speaking English. There is war at stake. People do not understand. Because you go school, you teach in so everybody for country will be. If you are too big to fry akara, that doesn't mean everybody of our village is too big. You they compare yourself with the president family. That is the most delusion I ever had in this life. And they compare yourself with them. Keep comparing. Thinking that one day your children will be like that. You know what ever happen. That's our reality.
There goes in Nigeria we're fighting for. You see where we're totally divided.
Are you fighting for Nigeria?
Hold on.
You are fighting for Nigeria. If you are fighting for Nigeria, you will not be discouraging Nigeria for taking up a. If you are fighting for Nigeria, you will not be discouraging Nigeria for taking up a legitimate endeavor to earn a living. You will not be doing that. If your school where you go should be able to sit you down and say, how do I innovate from frying the street to the next level? That's what education is about. But we are miseducated to think that doing all those things, we cannot move forward. That is how you develop. Everybody no fit go school. Everybody no fit go those doctrines we are talking about. We are talking about the population that has doubled over the last 20 years. And you think everybody will be engineer, doctor, and all that. You are deceiving yourself. You might disagree with all their policy, but guy, that's what you have as today.
Okay, thank you.
No fry akara. Don't worry. See now here we dey now. We are not country we dey.
If you allow me 1 minute.
No. Okay, guys. We have not even started. You guys.
Okay, just 30 seconds. You see, any nation or any people that will go forward is the ability of the person who is at the throne of the stool to be able to see beyond every other person. The moment your vision is not able to move the people forward, the country is going nowhere. You cannot tell me Nigerians are among one of the most educated in the world. You cannot tell me Nigerians are out of every 5 black person, 2 may be a Nigerian. You cannot tell me that the only way we can move forward is by pointing at people to start frying akara and making.
How do you explain? How do you explain?
Are you saying, my brother? Leave that thing alone.
Okay. How do you explain the revolution that is taking place in America today?
Nation, was trying to encourage the youths, and she was talking about the things, because we must change our work attitude. Everybody must be working, like in China. To retake our country, everybody must be working. Everybody must have something to do. My mother was selling akara. My mother was a farmer. My father was a farmer. But it doesn't necessarily mean that having used that to train me, that, I will continue to farm at their scale. I will continue to sell akara at their scale. Why do we make, joke of every genuine advice? Will everybody be a banker at the same time? Will everybody be obedient movement at the same time? No. So let us, be serious, for once. This is very important.
All right.
Doctor, there's a revolution currently. Hold on. Doctor, there's a revolution currently happening. In America today, there's a revolution currently happening. They are going back to tell their CDC to go and learn how to do plumbing, carpentry, and all those kind of jobs. Why? Because of the incoming revolution. You, when they say you be doctor, you be analyst. Good Lord, let's see how far you go. Americans, the most prosperous nation on earth, the biggest economy in the world, are telling their CDC, you better go and pick up carpentry job. You better go and pick plumbing job. You better go and pick a carpentry job. Today in America.
Okay, calm down.
Is carpentry profession?
Mm-hmm.
Is carpentry a profession? Is carpentry and plumbing a profession?
Is selling akara not a profession?
No. Answer the question. Is it a profession?
They are profession. Every job that gives you money is a profession.
Yes or no? Yes. Or no?
Yes.
And then you will get certified here in America.
Certificate now. You might be the giver. We can create certificate. Calm down. No. You see. Your argument doesn't make sense.
You want to listen to yourself only. You are listening to yourself only. Calm down. You have spoken. Okay, listen to my nonsense. I ask you, is carpentry and plumbing a profession?
Yes.
Every job can be a profession. Yes.
And then you will get certified. You are in the US. Can you do carpentry without being certified? Without going to? No. Can you do carpentry or plumbing without being certified?
No.
Yes.
No.
In America?
Yes.
No.
You are a liar.
I am living evidence. That is what I do.
You are lying to yourself, Ovie. If you are in America, hold on. Don't tell me that. If you are in America, to do carpentry, you have to be certified. If you are a plumber, you have to be certified. You need a certificate. So, Akara, excuse me.
I am asking you now, what be my job?
You like
when I finish,
don't be interjecting. Don't interject. Let me make my point, and then you can come in. No, you like your voice too much. Now listen, it is not the same thing with akara. And besides, the same person who is telling you to go and fry akara is giving people money, is giving people car free of charge. Reconcile that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So thank
first
you.
Of all, hold on. First of all,
2 minutes.
Okay. I'm glad you agree with me that if the most successful economy, the most progressive economy in the world today can be telling their citizens to go back to the basics, there's nothing wrong with telling our citizens to go back to the basics. You have agreed with that point. This idea of certification, what is the certification? Of way day here, we can agree to turn this place to a company and an institute of learning. We go to issue certificate. Anybody will come here.
That is why you are going wrong. That is why you are going wrong, because you have a president that does not have a certificate. You have ministers who don't have certificate. You have people who don't go to school. That's why you are having this problem.
Take your advice. All right.
Okay, thank you. We have to. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let me welcome to the show. Sola, welcome to the show.
Yeah, good day, everyone.
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, I didn't want to join, but Ovie made me join. My brother, you are from Edo State, me are from Ondo State, so we are aligned now. But let us look at it from a perspective, even though Dr. Daminji said we've not started. The president's wife was not just saying people should go. He was more or less insulting her. She was insulting Nigerians. She was insulting Nigerians' intelligence. And at the end of the day, it's not that maybe selling akara or selling kuli is bad. What people are asking for is for them to fix the country. And we've not even come to the scandal. I mean, today I was just listening to a lot of a last song, and it's more or less a repetition of what he has been saying since before I was born. So see, Ovie, nobody is saying akara and kuli is not good or bad or something. No, she was just literally insulting the sensibility of Nigerians. That is all she's just doing. So don't over kill it what Mr. KJ is saying or what every other person is saying. So I'll just use the floor.
That's how you took it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me come and say hello to Chris. Chris, how are you?
I'm good.
So
good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Who brought
you? Sometimes I listen. I always like to listen at the background. All this, everybody trying to say whatever they feel like saying, forgetting about the problem of Nigeria. Because what it is like this akara. They keep on giving you people something to talk about, and then everybody keep on ranting and do whatever they want to say. But the real problem of Nigeria remain unsolved, remain untalked about. So nobody talks about
it. Chris, which is what?
The problem of Nigeria is so much foundational. Everybody knows that there's no Nigeria. I mean, we need to sort these things, people out in Nigeria.
All right.
We can't continue like this.
Okay.
Every time you keep on telling people here, you keep hearing people, Nigeria corruption, leadership, this or that. How could you say these things? One is the country that have produced Awolowo, that produce Ahmadu Bello, that produce Azikiwe, that produce Akanibiam. They tell us it's the problem of leadership. Who is P2B and all the rest of them that are compared to these people? And yet the First Republic fell on their watch. So there's something wrong. When an enterprise was formed, it was formed for a reason. If you want to have a country, then you build a country. If you want to have a nation, you try to build a nation. That was an enterprise for British economy. So, I mean, I don't understand why every day people come here. I always like to listen to every of your program. I listen all the time, but I listen at the background. But nobody talks about the problem, the challenges that geographical area face as of today.
All right.
So I wish that will be something that people should be thinking about and start suggesting how can it be solved.
Thank you, Chris. For me, when I saw the First Lady talking, I was more interested in where is she getting the money that she's sharing. I wasn't worried about who is getting what and where is the money coming from. But you want us to forget about all those things and talk about foundation. So, which is that's why I like this conversation. People come from different angles. Patrick, welcome to the show. Nice to have you.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Dr. Damage. This is my first time of calling in. I was kind of drawing with the man Ovie talking about the First Lady's policy on Akara. I was just like, what is this man talking about? At this level, a former senator talking about Nigerians frying Akara. Like the other man said, Mr. Shola, the Akara is not a big deal. If you go to Pakistan, even in Israel, you see people with, shared frying. It's no big deal. But what kind of economic model is it talking about? When in America, kids are getting certified from high school. I have a daughter, my last baby became a pharmacy tech from high school, passed the certification in the States, went to go and do his PhD. A friend's daughter finished, got a full scholarship to go and do PhD. So what are we talking about? People are going to STEM, tech, certification. You don't have to go to university directly. That's the way the high school is being structured now. That they will go to technical school, you get certified, you can get a job from there. If you want to go to community college, if you want to go to university, you can do that. What are we talking about? We are even backward. When I was in my business school, one of the professors in America was in China for 25 years with his wife. This man will take you to a village in China where people are producing with the population. So I don't know where the government they are just throwing money away. There's nothing happening in education. You are talking about NYC without reforming our education. People are jobless. You see kids here in America working 2 jobs. They don't want to work. I have kids in college. They have job right now. 2 of them have job, have their car, they are settled. And what is wrong with the country? All this giving just so people are begging because people don't have job. What's it called? First lady buying their car for people. Where did she get the money? Is that what we want? Is that an economy? I'm just so tired.
All right, Patrick, thank you so much. Don't be tired. We've been here for years and we continue to come. I hope you will join us. We don't get tired here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Masca, I will let you just weigh in before we want to start with the matter of Prince Adeniyi. I think it's fundamental to Nigeria today, understanding the country. But go ahead and whatever brought you in, or whoever triggered your interest, let us hear.
Well, let me be very honest. I did not plan to join. I wanted to be listening and watching this Moroccan football. But when I saw Chris talking, I was thinking he want to go to the, what do they call it, ethnicity. And today I was telling myself that, no, look, this man today, I want to challenge him with his ethnicity. But as God will have it, the man didn't go there. So I'm disappointed in myself. I joined because of that. But well done, Chris. You outsmarted me. So let me lie that I have anything to say. Thank you.
Master, don't put up your arm yet. Don't see your AK-47 on the table. It's not over yet.
Dr. Damages, I want to put it on record. I want to debate Masca on this issue of ethnicity.
You want to debate Masca?
Okay. On issue of ethnicity.
Okay, Chris, send me a message. I don't have I don't have your contact, Chris. Send me a message. I have Masca. We can arrange it if Masca wants the debate.
Ethnicity and culture.
Yeah. I would like to be part of that. Yeah. Okay. Before AY, welcome to the show. I'll give you 2 minutes.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone from here. So I need to quickly correct something the last speaker was saying. There is no school. You can actually go from high school to a PhD program directly. It's still a process, right? Even when you are admitted, you're still gonna pass through your bachelor's, master's, then you go for a PhD. It's just similar to when you move from bachelor's to a PhD program. What really happened, they merged the PhD and the master's program. You still go do your master along the way. That's how the program are. So I just want to correct that for public information. And the other thing, I've been listening to a lot of people that try to start Akara industry, the likes of Ovie. I think, what's the name? Solar actually hit the nail on the head. Is the method, is the way the first lady was saying that, was behavior as if she's not the owner of Nigeria. That's where the problem. What really pisses people off. You can't be talking to Nigerians like that. You have to show some level of respect. Again, the other question is the question Dr. Rudolph just asked. Where are you getting the money you are spending, though? So I think those are valid discussion. The only point I want to raise, I saw a document fly online where they said The president is trying to restructure the country to give each region 7 states. It seems they want to create a fourth arm of government. The way I'm seeing the document, I don't know how valid it is. Maybe if they can help us. But I don't really have problem with the document if they are deliberate, they know what they want to do. I would really love to see such things. I don't see anything wrong with it. Again, if they are genuine, they're really doing it to develop the country, develop the regions, that would be a very good thing. If you but you need what I think should happen is you need to get stakeholder from every region, every state evolve. Let Nigeria what they want. Don't push Nigeria into it. Let Nigeria discuss it, and all the region people from different states, they agree that this is what will work for Nigeria, this is what we want. Then I think it's gonna be a good thing. Thank you.
AY is not regions, it's zones. You have the federal, you have geographical zones, 6 geographical zones, and
Yeah,
then you have states, and then
it's
in
still,
that order.
yeah, it's still the same thing. It's just like in India they call it union region or something like that. It's still the same idea though. But I just hope they are deliberate about it. They are genuine. They really want to help the people. They are not thinking of how they want to loot more money. Then it's supposed to be a good program if they can be very fair with everybody. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Executive producer, sure. Welcome.
Yes, good evening, Rudolph, and good evening to other panelists and the chat section, and to those watching from across the world. From beautiful England, it's sunny today, so we're in a happier mood. Please forgive me if this does not make sense in the order that I'm going to discuss it, but I joined quickly because I saw that, it's turned into a bit of a debate, which is quite good for television, the Akara Gate. I think Ovie is right to an extent, and I think others on the people on the opposite side are also right. I think we just have to find the middle ground, or the way we probably explain it to one another is what's causing the issue. I think that the messenger does not help. The message itself might not be the issue. The messenger is a big issue. Most of us do not like her, don't like her family, don't like what she represents. So whatever she brings, already we're not interested, right? There are people in your family that will call you today, maybe not today, say 30 years ago, before you left Nigeria, 40 years ago, depending on when you left, and say to you, despite your education and all of that, to say, I'm thinking, do you want to start this small business? 2 people from your family. 1, think of your family members, your uncles at the time that had small change. The one that you like and you trusted and you know that means well for you. If they call you and tell you to come and start one small business, let's use Akara as a generic business. There's a way you would accept it and know that, okay, this guy will put money behind it. He would support me through it. And you know that other one that calls you and says, come and start Akara, because that uncle or auntie has a bad reputation, stingy, only cares about their immediate family, you're thinking, oh, something your child won't do. You want me to come and be selling Akara. So I think the messenger, being Remi Tinubu, the Tinubu family, or this presidency, I don't think they mean well for Nigeria. So that was one of the problems. The second problem I see is the level from which it came. Talking about Akara selling should not come from the president's wife. That should be coming from the wives, not that they have an office, but local government, council, chairman, wives, because you're talking 50K empowerment. So that should be coming, at least they said there's local government autonomy. They're not giving them money, right? So you should be disbursing such money from that level. So the president's wife coming out to say, we've empowered people to sell Akara, corn, all these things, kuli. I think that doesn't help us well. It should not come from that level. It's too far for her to be talking about selling Akara. The optics is bad. This is the same woman that was giving cars to APC women leader and saying, register it in your name. You don't have to give it back. So when people look at that, coupled with the fact that the messenger, so people are thinking, so it's okay to give these other women, just because they're APC women leader, cars, and tell them, governors, commanding governors to give them cars. When it comes to us, we say, give them money for a car. So the optics and the level from which it came is bad. If you look at it, so my maternal grandmother was called Iyalakara. That was her name. She died in 1982. She gave birth to my dad in 1928. So she must have sold akara around that time. Late 20s, mid 20s. She stopped in the 40s. When her children went through school, could afford to take her away from that job. And they retired her, right? But with that akara that she was selling and whatever her husband was doing, they were able to train children through school. If your sole business is this level of akara Mrs. Tinubu is talking about, the chances of your child ending up like my father is zero. It's not slim, it's zero, dead. The level of akara, 50K, there's a place for it in the society. But then people could sell akara and still educate their children. The children had a chance. The child of an akara seller with 50K starting has zero chance in Nigeria of today. And it benefits people like the Tinubus. The less educated the population is, the better for them. So it might be intentional. I don't know. Also, what else was I going to say? Okay, yeah, I think those are the things I wanted to say. Rudolph, I know this is the first time you're hearing about it. I'm thinking of hosting a show. I don't know when it will be. You know my schedule, this is crazy. I'm thinking of hosting a show, it will be a weekday, not on a Saturday, to discuss issues and solutions. So I'm saying it to Rudolph for the first time in front of the whole world. It will be a show where you would only be allowed to come in. You would pick a topic, which one of Nigeria's main problems, and you would suggest your solutions. It doesn't mean it would work or it won't work. It's not a debate. If anybody interjects you, I'll kick them out. I won't have patience on that day. So Ovie would come and talk about whatever history, the role of World War II in today's world, and how we can navigate it as Africans. How can we, escape that trap? Forefathers will come and talk about insecurity. And we'll talk about his solutions. We know what it is, recruit. I can just play it in Tinubu's video. Do you understand? Someone like Forefathers' sidekick, what's his name? Jide, will come and talk about colonialism and neocolonialism and how to navigate it. So you would pick your own topic. Nobody's picking it for you. And as soon as you finish explaining what the problem is, then you suggest what you think can be done to solve that problem. So that's just something that I've had at the back of my mind. And on a lighter note, imagine you are Rice, R-I-C-E. Not the one that plays for Arsenal. Just Rice, the one we eat. Imagine you are Rice in Nigeria today. The relief that finally they're talking about beans. They're not sharing me. I'm not the solution to this problem now. They've finally now found beans, akara. Rice will just catch a break because before now, everything is rice. So, yep. So that's what I just thought to come and say, that everybody has a point. People that are angry, you can see where they're coming from. The reasons why they're probably angry about the akara business. And for someone like Ovie, there's a place for akara selling in the society. It's just that with the society that our leaders have built over the years, the chances of an akara seller with 50K, very slim, if not zero. But thank you.
Dr. Damages, can I interject? I know I don't usually interject. Can I interject?
Go ahead.
Executive producer, have you been insulted? Have you ever been insulted in a way that normally the insult did not come directly, but you know that it is an insult? Has it ever happened to you before?
That's why I said people are angry, because of the messenger.
No. Leave the angry. Leave the angry.
So,
we know that there is an angry. Have you ever been insulted before?
What is the insult?
And you know that is an insult.
This is an uncharted territory.
Hold on. So let me give you an example. No, hold on. Let me give you an example. A lot of people went to school, maybe writing on the chalkboard or writing on a slate. Back in the days, I know that people wrote on a slate.
Mr. James and
probably.
Myself.
Yes, so maybe Mr. James or something. Now, we now came to a position where you have books and you have tablets. And more or less somebody is telling you, you know what, you should more or less, you should more or less have passed, because there are slates all over the place. And more or less you should be a PhD holder, writing on slates. But when there are books and tablets that you can use, no one on this panel is saying that akara is bad. No one. My mom sold puff, sold bread. None on this panel. But what most of the people saying, probably apart from Ovie, I don't usually come for him, is that she is insulting Nigerians with the word of akara. look, you can insult someone in a way that you can say, oh, people should, do business. You can say it in a certain way that will not, it's a derogatory word saying, oh, people should go and sell akara. So that's just understand it, that it's not because, oh, we hate
I hear
them
you.
or
I
because
hear you.
akara is bad or something.
It's
But,
even okay not to like
when you're
them.
insulting someone, try and let people, it's just the insult that I'm more or less looking
Let me
at,
go
not
back
because
to
people said
okay.
akara.
Yeah, that's fine. I get
So
you.
I
I
have
get you.
a question for you, sure.
Okay, go ahead so I can respond to
Yeah.
both. And
Would we have had this furore if she had suggested women coming together, maybe like in a cooperative where they can train and learn skills?
Okay. So your question is similar to, or your pushback is similar to Solar. So let me answer both. If you refer to my second point, I said the level from which this came is a major problem. If a local government or councillor said this, there won't be an issue, right? If a councillor said this, there won't be an issue. That is so. If you go back to my second point, I said the level from which this came is without the using of insulting. That's exactly what I was alluding to. That it should never come from the president's wife to be telling people to sell akara. You are too far above akara level. You should be talking about better things for the people at that level. So she can even say, "Oh, we've done this." Like when she was talking about 2 billion, 1 billion, like Rudolph said, we don't know where the money is coming from. But she can talk about all these billions and bigger empowerment, and now say that now that there's local government autonomy, we've empowered the local government chairman and the local councillors to look after people at the grassroots level. If she has said that, there'll be no issue. And I agree with you both. I have no issues at all. I'm not defending them. And that's why I said it should not have come from the president's wife to be telling people to go and start akara business with 50K. It's insulting. Oh, yes, every day and twice on a Sunday. It's insulting. I'm with you.
Can I point something out to our director? I agree with you that the optics might not go well with everybody and the messenger, but I don't know why we are necessarily shooting the messenger. We didn't vote for her. She's not an elected official. She's not in any way.
Maybe she should stop talking. Maybe she should
Hold
stop
on,
speaking in that
wait,
sense.
hold on. Let me finish. She has the right to talk just like every other, so like in Nigeria, right? But one thing we should, what I want to point out to you is that yes, now local government first ladies or state finance, now they're supposed to talk this thing. But if you go study the history of our first ladies, our former first ladies, Stella Obasanjo, may so rest in peace. At a point, he had to summon all the 36 state first ladies to Abuja for just one message to let her understand that there's only one first lady in the country, and she's the only one. So everything get precedence. If you follow that, so I am not saying what she's saying or how she's saying it should not be contested. But at the same time, we should know how to actually criticize who deserves to be criticized. She's the first lady. She knows anything. Now, would they give that office prestige? Now, would they legalize that office? Now, would they give them? Now, would they expect for them?
Is the money they put in her office that gives her prestige? Take
That's
away
what
the
I'm saying.
funding.
We acknowledge it. We acknowledge that office.
Don't blame me for that now.
Hold on. There's something I want to understand, because I really want to understand where people are coming from. And that's actually in terms of making this conversation go smoothly. For me, Ovie comes from angles I try to understand it. So Ovie is looking at this as there's a class difference, the educated ones and the uneducated ones. So that the first lady is taking care of the uneducated ones, and that we are not understanding what she's trying to do for the uneducated ones. That's where Ovie is coming from. And it's always
and we are uneducated are the majority of the countries. That time we take our rightful place. Whether we feel explain or analyze, and it doesn't matter at this point. Now what we do.
All right. Hold on, guys. Mr. James, go ahead.
Yeah, you see, this woman is performing a role she's not prepared for. In the Constitution of Nigeria, there is no office as office of the First Lady. She has no constitutional role to play in government. So making these misguided statements is an embarrassment to herself and the nation. Now, I do not support a situation whereby First Ladies or First Gentlemen interfere with the running of a state. I want to cite 3 examples to back up what I'm saying. In Romania, there was a man they called Nicolae Ceausescu. Himself and his wife were running the country as if it's their personal property. When the man was overthrown, is it 79 or 89, the 2 of them were put before firing squads on Christmas Day. for interfering in government affairs that has nothing to do with her. The second is the French Revolution of 1789, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
The
correct.
wife of Louis XVI was executed along with her husband for interfering with the affairs of state. The third, I think it was in Nepal when they overthrew the government not long ago. The woman was badly handled in public. So a situation whereby first ladies are so arrogant as to be interfering in matters that does not concern them is what is causing the whole problem. If she had put it in a refined way, commensurate with her status in society, it would have been acceptable. After all, personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with selling akara. My mother was a trader at a Kiosa market, Secondary Secular Road, Benin City. She supported my father while Awolowo was giving us free education, and we had it very smooth. So there's nothing wrong. But a situation whereby she's donating billions to people, where did she get the money? Assuming there's a change in government tomorrow and there's a violent overthrow of government, and she's called to account for how she got the money, what will she say? These are things they are not thinking about. Anyway, I wish her well. Thank you.
All right, Rodolph, I'm going to drop off in a second. I just wanted to give someone the highlight or the podium they probably don't deserve, just for record keeping sake. HP 89 in the comment section. I see your comment and you say, Show is defending the First Lady as he defended Afe Babalola against Dele Farutimi, but he falls flat on his face. And Niger madness, they come from that angle of Niger. May you find healing. May you find peace. I bought Dele Farutimi's books when it was banned and it was not meant to be sold. I bought copies for people in the UK who are not interested on Amazon with my money. I bought copies through someone on this platform in Nigeria, and I told the person to distribute to people in Nigeria when Dele Farutimi's book was banned in Nigeria. I frantically found, I was searching the internet, I found a seller in Nigeria. I sent money. I bought multiple copies of Dele Farutimi's book. I join his shows on Sundays. Go to my Twitter handle and search Dele Farutimi, and you'll see the things I've said about him. Every time I've, sort of quoted him and mentioned him. So if you don't understand things, don't jump into conclusions, go out, fresh air, have friends, don't be, but hey, yeah.
Your update no complete. You know bring update for the heartbeat of the state.
I saw it. I saw it. I was going to send it
doing exceptionally well.
I thought let's give Edo State a break. Well, I saw some videos from Edo, quite interesting.
Because he's doing well. You won't give him a break. Anytime we make mistake, go ahead.
All right, I have to go, guys. Take care.
All right, thank you. Sure, thank you so much. Let me talk about the show for today and tomorrow. A few things that I think you guys should know. I have an engagement I have to attend, so I will be handing over the show to KJ in about 15 minutes. And tomorrow on 90 Minutes Africa. So we already scheduled this writer and activist, Farida, to join us tomorrow. But I just got a message from her that she's indisposed. That means she won't be able to come in tomorrow. We rescheduled her for the 19th because we already have someone scheduled for next week. So this show will not happen tomorrow as planned. We will bring you a different show tomorrow. So I wanted to bring those things to your attention. Forefathers will do his traditional show after this one, but I want KJ to finish up this one in the next 30 minutes. I see Forefathers is around, and I see TF. I'm used to the flagship, but welcome to the show.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. You want me to hold on?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I just have a quick question. I'm not going to take too much time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I heard somebody talk about, made a small comparison about China and Nigeria when it comes to this Akara business. And my question is, how much of an industrialization has this Akara business done for Nigeria since the donkey years that it's been fried? Does anybody know?
Well, from what everybody is saying, I know people who did that, families who trained their children that way through that business. what I'm worried about is
Timaya was a plantain seller.
Sunday Dare, who is I don't know his current position now, but he works with the presidency, talked about his mom being He talked about his mom training them through Akara. So the issue I have is how many positions are open for Akara sellers now in Nigeria? Like Oshodi is full. I walk through Abuja, I see people selling corn and all this. Is it that the business is booming, that if you have 10,000 people in Lagos now going into that business, that they will have customers, that the issue is getting 50,000 naira too? And also, I know that the cost of a frying pan is more than I actually saw the cost because something I'm doing on the side, I saw something. It's actually too expensive that with 50,000 you may not buy beans enough to do turnaround and oil, and it may not be enough, that 50,000. But the point is that I think it has its place, just like every venture, entrepreneur, business venture, anybody can start from the low level. But I'm not thinking that, like Sho got it right when he talked about the level, local government level, the wife of the president, they should set goals and inspire people. They should, that's the kind of thing we want from them if they actually want to be involved in this conversation, but not to make it look like. Anyway, let me not just repeat what people have said. You guys got it right. I think.
Well, the reason I asked is the economic impact that it has had in Nigeria since it got. I remember when I started school, I went to Akara school. That's what they called it.
Untakara. Yeah. I know what you mean.
I did, but I never saw Akara, so it's been a long time that they've been talking about this.
Yeah.
But it seems not to be having any impact in the economy. And I think where the sad part for me is we still have these folks who are in the seat of leadership still thinking with dinosaur kind of mindset. It's sad, unfortunately. If you compare what goes on in China, there's this thing called dumpling. It's a local product in China, but I can buy it here in the US. It's manufactured in China. It's shipped abroad. You could sell it anywhere in other countries. At least it's making an impact. And the reason why is because the Chinese government invested in it. And the guy who spoke about regional or local production in China is right. But it's not left to the people. The government invested in it. There was technology that was put in it. They thought ahead of where they were many years ago. That's why I can buy Chinese dumpling in America. And I heard there is a goosey soup that is being shipped from China to Nigeria, even banga soup. So if you're telling your people to go do akara at the scale that it was done some 50 years ago, I think we're way behind time, and that's insulting. That's why I see the insult and the meaning of the virtue and capability of the Nigerian people. That's how I viewed it. It could have been said in a better way if the government meant to really make this a subject of conversation or something they want their people to do, to have brought it out to the public and say, how can we industrialize akara selling so the government can invest in it, and then we can have people get into the business and make good of it that would not only better the people that are invested in it, but also the economy. On a last note, the only good thing I've seen that a lot of people talk about in Nigeria now is that they are opening the Akara school. And to buy the form is 100,000 naira. And then it will cost you 500,000 naira to learn how to fry Akara. So we really need to, it's not a joke.
What you are saying, is it for real?
I heard it. I've been trying to ask people to please send me that form, perhaps.
And I projected 5 years from now. I was prophesying 5 years from now. It's already happening. Moku know they listen to all these women. They see the future.
But it doesn't make any sense. I think it's a joke. It's a big, big joke. We are in a time where if there was only one person that I know that did something that put them in the spotlight globally. There was a lady that made moi moi in Lagos, and she ended up at the White House when Obama was still there. I was expecting that by now, her moi would have gone all around America, if not globally, if she was so good at the product that she was called to the White House to make the same product for a dinner that was going on. But we don't hear about her anymore. So
I can TF if you want. She used to be my neighbor in Abuja. It's not Lagos.
Oh, Abuja, okay. Well, I thought it was
yeah, she's still very much is one of the stuff. She still makes a lot of waves in Abuja, but that's one person out of several other people who did that business who never got to be anywhere. And you see, the challenge of it is just like Rudolph said, when the top echelon, the people you expect to be the cream of the society, is thinking at a pedestal level, what do you expect those at the lower level? How do you expect them to think? You see, for a want of a shoes, the law is lost. Okay, if they can think that way, there's nothing there's no hope for anybody else, because there are many other ways. Look, I used to work for an NGO. We used to go to places and gather people and start them on a small scale industries, women and especially train them on how to make soap and make other things for themselves. This is a small NGO. This is not a government with the power of government. And we can be able to sway them into doing something more productive for themselves and their children. What more of a government official who can give 1 billion? With 1 billion alone, you can start a technical school that those people you are hoping that they'll go up and selling like akara. Just like somebody asked on the comment section, how much akara will you sell to rent a house that's now going for 3 million?
But KJ, this 1 billion and 2 billion you're talking about,
yes,
P Square sang a song. I don't know if it's both of them or one of the brothers that sang it. He called it audio money. This is what we hear, but was it really given?
What I'm saying in essence is that part of that money can be used to start something more solid that can take care of more people and who will now be productive in the area of the economy that we count. If you train a carpenter, when I was growing up, we used to have St. Joseph seminar trade centers where people go. Okay, those who go there, they are the top mechanics now. They're the top upholstery makers. They're the top carpenters. They learn these things, and all they needed to do is come out and make better of their life. You cannot tell me that my mother was selling akara, and akara is very good in my community. My village, when we go in every December, we look forward to eating the akara, because that's what. These are not business that people go and say they are sitting behind and doing. They just do it in the morning when people want to take breakfast, and that's it. They go on to do the other things. Nobody can go and say you set up a selling akara. How many people eat akara in the afternoon? How many? Nobody. They say in the evening, these are business that are still. That's why the first lady. I was happy with that picture she showed, the former first lady. That look, these things are not something we already doing this thing in the north. It's not something you can teach another how to do. They do this thing on the side, and by 9-10 o'clock they packed up. So it's not a big deal. So when you come advertise as if you are giving us a new idea, some people are flexing muscles and saying, people are having high cost. No, these things have been existing in the north. It's not a big deal. Okay? If you even in Benue, there's something they call, in fact, the Benue one, you even in the north, you can sit there, you take the akara, you take the cocoa, okay? You enjoy and just go your way at a very little money. It's still going on. It's not something we are hoping to build a nation. You don't be a nation by selling cocoa and akara.
I think Rudolph, sorry, please. I think it's a bad business module, because if you have a street of 30 homes and 20 homes are frying akara, who's going to buy them?
Exactly. That's the key point. But let me just before I go, I wanted to hear what you people thought about America at 250. It might be very interesting to hear what you think about TF in terms of what would the world, your own estimation, how would the world have been without America, United States of America, as it's structured today? How would that have changed the world? Because what could have happened, people don't think about this. If they don't have the kind of leaders that envisioned building a bigger country, you could have had the Northeast being a country, maybe Massachusetts and all the New England, territories come together, and then you have Texas as a country, have California as a country. That could have been what would have happened. So how would that have impacted the world in terms of the role America played in the history of the world in the last 250 years? And based on the trajectory America is on now, how do you think how will America look like in another 250 years? Now we're looking at this in terms of knowing that India and countries like China, they've been around for 1,000 years, and we see the development of those countries. And then we can also go back to our country like Nigeria and think about how will Nigeria look like 250 years from now? And do we think about things like that? And I would like to hear what everybody may have to say about that, just to mark the American independence. Not because, Tony. Let's start with Tony.
Dr. Damages, just a very short one. There is something that is very striking about America when I look at, as it celebrates 250 years of independence. This is a country that was colonized by Britain. And today, much greater than Britain itself. And we have a country where every time people point to, it's because we're colonized, because we're colonized, because we're colonized. There's a lesson that we can learn from America. For me, that's very, very striking.
Okay, that's a very good
For me, I think that the biggest part that I see is how diverse America is and how they've been able to manage this diversity for 250 years without killing themselves. When you think of other parts of the world, other countries like Nigeria, that is talking about splitting and going their separate ways, I think the big lesson is what is that secret juice that they have in governance that kept them together for this long, and they're still being able to be the #1 most powerful country in the world. There are many changes that have happened since they took over as world power, but they're still together and they're still managing the world. Now, how it's going to be 250 years from now, only time will tell. But with the changes that keep going on and the trajectory that they are heading on, they are facing right now, traveling on, it may lose that strength and that cementing power that keeps them together and puts them on top of the world. I just pray that they keep respecting diversity, the variety that we have, which is the biggest spice of life.
So sorry, I'll be moving people out so that new people can come in and
you can put me in the back.
No, before you go, are you saying that the juice, the thing is diversity? That's what made America what it is.
The diversity is what makes it what it is. It's nothing else. There's nothing.
But sorry, Mr. Rudolph, I just want to correct the flagship. I think TF, he's just abbreviating the flagship, Mr. Rudolph.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, you made a statement that without killing themselves. But I'm sure you are aware that America fought a civil war, or is it that you forgot about that one?
Beyond that, we are 250 years today. In spite, and that the Civil War is part of the changes that I'm talking about. That they were not able to split, and like Rudolph is saying, Texas is on its own, Louisiana is on its own, and the rest of the nation are on their own. It's that ability to recognize.
No, I just want to put it on record that Americans kill themselves also, so that we will not be thinking we are different from them. But I just want to
kill themselves.
Anyway, I'm sure. Look, I get your point, and I'm sure you get my point. Anyway,
but the point that they
understand.
Okay,
flagship.
Is what I'm talking about. I understand you, Master.
So I'm sure we understood each other.
But the point I'm making is, if are we able to see what makes us common more than what separates us? That's what America is doing.
At that point, I agree with you, flagship. I mean, America, whether you like it or not, there's diversity. There's going to be a separate argument whether the diversity, if you ask me personally, I believe that and Chris, I'm sure Chris will be very happy here. I believe that one of the core secrets of the US is because, forget about the diversity. If you go back and look at the 56 founding fathers of that country, they all almost were the same kind of people.
Beyond that time, Masker, We are talking 250 years from now.
Well, see, I'm
My great grandfather wasn't here.
I'm agreeing with you that there is diversity and they are managing it well. Other people may not agree, but I will agree that they are managing their diversity. But I'm going beyond the current diversity. I'm saying that when you go back and look at the people, the nature of the people that set up the place, they are almost the same kind of people. So they build it up, and what has happened is that if you're coming, you must assimilate into that grand nature of the people. So, but anyway, sorry to bug in, but I just wanted to put it on.
All right. So can I say something? No, hold on, Chris. I just want to point out, Maska mentioned that the people that died during the Civil War. Most people don't know 2.5% of American population, civilians, died during that Civil War. A lot of people, compared to most countries and the Civil War of those countries. But there's something that Maska mentioned. I just want to put it on the table too. That beyond the leaders, the people that signed the Constitution and debated the Declaration of Independence, there was a philosophical thinking behind what they did. And there was a man called Thomas Paine who wrote the book called The Common Sense. So most of the people who sat down in that congregation and decided that they have to break away from the United States, they all believe in that philosophy in that book. So there's something they had in common. Unlike if you go to Africa and look at the people that fought for the independence of those African countries, sometimes they don't have an overarching philosophy other than let's kick out the white people and take control of the country. So they couldn't come and say, we don't want this. I played at the beginning of this show, the Declaration of Independence. I wish Nigerians would read it. If you read it, you'll be angry. You'll be angry at the people who are running your country. Africans are entirely. You feel like this was where these Americans were 250 years ago. They are seeing their rights being denied by the King George III of England, and that they decided we have to do something. It's exactly the same thing happening in most parts of Africa today under our own people leading the countries. One last thing, at the beginning of the show, I mentioned that on that day, the King George III wrote in his diary, nothing of importance happened today. That the day they declared independence, he made sure that he wrote in his diary that nothing of importance. And 250 years after, we know that it was something big that happened that day. All right, you're raising your hand, Chris.
Yes, this is what I actually wanted to talk about.
Okay.
America is a success of where you have diversity. And when you say diversity is your strength, that's one success. And why is that so? Because there is hybridization. So when people talk about America, existence of diversity in itself does not confer strength. It is because of hybridization. So when you are talking about those people that sat in that room to say, these are the characteristics we want for this nation. That's what is called hybridization. Now, when you come to Nigeria, the difference is clear. Azikiwe studied in America. Awolowo and Sedwana studied in Great Britain. In Great Britain, there are two ways you can build a nation, two models, originality or hybridization. In Europe, they settled their own in 1745 or so, after so many years of war. So they said every nation, that's every ethnic nationality, deserves right to have its own nation. But in America, those in America, they cleared all the people that lived in that place and said these and these and these are the characteristics we want in this particular place. So it doesn't matter whether you are from America whether you are from Africa, you are from Asia, as long as you come into this place and you pledge these characteristics, you are welcome. So it is not multicultural. America is not multicultural. It is multi-ethnic. It is multi-ethnic, but it's not multicultural. But if you come to here in Nigeria, you have not just only multi-ethnic, but multicultural. Now, when you have there was a discussion between Awolowo, Zik, and Ahmadu Bello. They said Azikiwe wanted them to subsume all the nations into one nation. So, in other words, he wanted hybridization, but he was overruled by Awolowo and Saduana. Now, they instead of going their separate way completely, they decided to live side by side, hoping that they will form a nation based on multi-ethnicity and multicultural, which is very difficult. It's not done. And to make matter worse in Nigeria, you have incompatible cultural diversity. You see, whenever you talk about this, and this is the core cause or the core problem of Nigeria, nobody talks about it. They will tell you, oh, no, it's leadership, it's this, it's that. I've told them, no. But like I said, I would like to discuss this with Masca if he feels like anytime. I wouldn't mind, I can call him.
Chris,
so that you understand the basics of the problem called Nigeria.
Chris,
has nothing to do with
Chris. This point you are making is because I myself, I understood. If you look at America, this thing you're saying, nobody will argue with you. But
yeah, exactly the point I'm making. So we can sit down. We can either understand ourselves to say, okay, there's a problem here. We can now go back and say, okay, well, if three people cannot agree to form a country or to form a nation, then how can millions agree in forming a nation? So, in other words, I state to you, there are two ways you can form a nation: originality and hybridization. So, we can choose in Africa whether we can use originality. If this hybridization hasn't, well, we haven't even tried any hybridization because there's no characteristics that we have said to set ourselves, say this is what we want. Okay, that you can never say this is Nigerian characteristics or Nigerian culture. But every country, every nation must develop through its culture. You cannot develop outside your culture.
Okay, Chris.
And that's my argument.
Chris, this is a very important conversation, but we can't do it today because the way we structure Saturday's show, we have topics to touch on and we have to get to everybody to weigh. But I promise you, if Masca will debate you, we can arrange that. But also, I want you to think about this. You don't live in America. We who live in America, we've looked at this country and we know that the idea that America is a melting pot, which is what you are alluding to, is not true. Okay, there are two things happening here now. Most people now describe America as a salad bar. They are in the same place, but they are not mixing. So if you come to America, unless you live here, you know that people still live in their different enclaves. People are not together. There might be few people in the cities, but people still, to a large extent, they live that way. And also, the difference between America and Nigeria and other African countries, you can say, is that in Nigeria, we have Igbo, Yoruba, Efik. They were there, and then they were brought together, and they were told that you are a country. In the case of the United States, people came from different places, displaced the people who were there, and then formed something. But this is what's happening now. Those that came many years ago are beginning to think that they are original ethnic group, and they are beginning to push away people who are coming newly. It's been going on for years, but now it's more pronounced. So you find people talking about getting their country back, their country. They don't see themselves as part of the people that came from somewhere. So I'm just saying that what's the ideals of America that you are pointing at and comparing it to Nigeria is not actually what is playing out in America today. There are people now who are beginning to feel that we are the original people, we are the indigenous people of America, that you people from Latin America coming in now, that you are not original. Okay, they forgot that Texas, they forgot that California were originally occupied by people
Mexico.
Yeah. So the point
Rudolph,
I'm saying is that
you are right. You are right. You see, let me explain this to you. If you have studied
Can I get
genetics,
a word in
if you
here?
if you are a,
I've been
if you
here
are
for
a
a long
breeder,
time.
if
Can
you
I
have
get a word in
studied the
here?
genetics,
Rudolph.
if you have studied genetics and you studied breeding, you will understand what is going on in America is always going to happen. Okay, but the real thing, the real thing is what is called the Constitution. Okay, what is going on in America, if you have studied genetics, you will understand what is happening in America is likely to happen. Okay, because there is always going to be back crossing. Okay, there will always going to be back crossing. So those back crossing are going to be referring themselves and say, well, we are American. Oh, I mean, we are Chinese. We are in whatever country they came from, right? But what it is, the main core is the Constitution. Okay, is that Constitution that is recently Trump wanted to do away with birthright, right? But the Constitution, struck it down. So that Constitution, that early Constitution, is the main core. You see, that is what I'm trying to say. That is what is called hybridization in characteristics. When you pick up something, you say, these are what we are looking up to. It's a program. It is not something, it's a program. You select.
All right.
So
Chris,
it is called selection.
We are going to have this conversation. Hopefully it will be.
And just as a teaser, Mr. Rudolph, Chris is already all over the place. You, in one breath, you're saying that it is the ethnicity of the people that is important. Now today, you are putting up constitution.
You can't have mask.
As almost at
Pansat, I brought you up here so that I'll get you.
What you don't know is that Constitution derives from culture.
I believe that you
Constitution derives from culture.
Okay, Chris.
You understand? Constitution derives from culture.
Okay, Chris, hold on. We're going to end this. Pansat, I'm being nice to you. I brought you up because I want to hear from you, but you won't even have the patience so that we can get to you.
You're testing my patience, right?
Okay. If I'm testing it, then I'll test it more. All right. So we are not going to. This is not about constitution. I just wanted to hear viewpoints about America. What you think is working? Why it's doing better than other countries, and what are the challenges? And will it survive in another 50? Just briefly, 2 minutes for everybody. Pansat, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Let me say hello to everybody who's on the platform and those who are listening to us and those in that comment section as well. I believe that with the issues that you raise, myriads of people have come up here and they've spoken on the Akara business. I kept listening to see if somebody would link it to history, to literature, Rudolph. Because, I remember, I recall maybe 2 weeks ago, I was on this platform, you were talking about reincarnation, somebody had been on your show. And you would almost think that Mary Antoinette is a reincarnation of Mrs. Tinubu. And there's a famous legendary quote that goes, let them eat cake. I don't know if anybody's heard that. Let them eat cake. It's attributed to Mary Antoinette. If we have time, I would talk about it.
She didn't say that, but it's attributed to her, but she didn't.
Right. It's misappropriation, right? From Rousseau. I'm gonna get to that literature.
No, don't go into details. We don't have time. We have 2 minutes.
I'm trying to elucidate literature history. You
No, we are not today.
You want to tamper me down.
We do it on
1 minute already.
You've been here. Hold on now. You've been here for hours talking, right? Letting people like Masker talk all day. I come up here to link this thing to history and literature. You want to tamper me down? It's not. I'll spare you for now. But let me get to my main point, which is to say that quote is attributed to Queen Marie Antoinette of France, right? During the 18th century, there was a bread shortage, right? It's meant to symbolize aristocratic obliviousness. Right? Forefathers. You hear me? It's exactly
Mr. Rudolph has gone. I'm the one in charge of this show now, so behave yourself.
If you guys take over our shows, we'll be happy. Just don't take over our land. Masker, tell your people, take Rudolph's show, but don't take our people
when it
forests.
comes to land matters,
don't take our forests and don't kill us.
Minority, they have little or no land. It all has been eroded, so don't go there. Don't talk land. Just talk literature.
I hear you. I don't come here to play. I know you want to play around. If you want me to play, don't kill our people, right? I can't come here laughing when you're in a forest killing our people. I'm not gonna laugh. So, like I was saying, in reality, like Rudolph was saying, it's even more appropriately attributed to Jean-Jacques Rousseau. I'm sure everybody knows about Rousseau's Confession in 1770, right? The great princess, upon hearing that peasants had no bread, suggested that they eat some kind of a rich egg-based pastry, just like akara. So I'm thinking these people, these evil leaders and their wives, they call them queen in the past, they're reincarnation. They keep coming back. But unless you're able to identify these witches and say, here it is again, it's come back again. Rudolph, this is where you would have used all that stuff that you get from your people here. For Nigerians to see that woman show that obliviousness, hearing that people are starving, and they say, let them eat cake, let them fry akara. There's nothing more poignant than that, right? So we try to going into the 2 minutes that you attribute for talking about the independence related something. Let me go ahead and I want you people to go ahead and read the literature and the history of the significance of that statement made by that woman. Right? It's very significant. It means a lot. It's already been trashed out by every civilization. But anyway, now in the case of Rudolph, there's one service you do to us here who are in the United States. I'm not going to talk about the service you do to us who are Southeasterners, right? Let's talk about those now. All of us who are here in the United States. They say, well, you portray us. We are the United States, right? I don't know what you go through there in New York, but here in the American technologies that everybody uses today, Apple, Microsoft, Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, LinkedIn, Reddit, right? Messenger, WhatsApp,
OpenAI, they have them in China too, their own technology.
Yeah, just let me today, which is American independence, let's just give America its credit, its due. We're here in the United States, which is something, I don't know, do you have to know where you are, Rudolph? I call you sometime, I say, Rudolph, you're a journalist. People who come here who are supposed to be your guests should be happy to be calling you to be on your show. You're an Igbo man. People like Maska should be looking up to you as an Igbo man.
What does that have to do with?
Let me tell you what it has. Let me tell you. You have to know who you are. You are in the United States. Let me land. You've been talking all day. Let me land.
Pansa, this is the problem. You have 2 minutes to talk about America, and you went to Maska and Rudolph. I don't know what that has to do with America. What is your view about in 1 minute?
Let me tell you.
1 minute. Don't quote.
Yeah. Okay, there's something that irks you. You don't want me to talk.
No, we don't have time. We don't have time. I offered you debates. You don't want to debate when you have 3 hours to debate anything, talk anything. You don't want that. Why do you want me to give you the time when we're discussing? There are people waiting. They've not said a word today, and I want to hear from them.
Okay. I believe that at least I don't see him. Yeah, Chris spoke with as much time as he may consume, right? And so many others. They were here talking, 3 times.
They came
They
at
looked
the
around.
beginning before we started. Okay,
Okay.
Fansad, we're done. We're done with you. We are going to go to forefathers.
Let me
Yeah,
let
2
me
minutes.
do
No,
it
no, no,
today.
no, 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 no.
Let me
You're
do this
taking
to you
your time.
today. Let me
Fansad.
do this to you.
No,
Okay.
no,
Let me
no.
do this.
Fansad, no.
I'm going to kick you out. Here it is.
I didn't kick him out, actually. Somebody did. There are more powerful people than me here. I didn't kick him out, but that's okay. I really have to go. That's why I'm rushing. I know that this conversation will continue to go on, and I really wish I could be here for the whole day and even the next one. Forefathers, let me hear from you before anything. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Greetings, Dr. Damages. Greetings to all the panelists, the chat, and to the viewers. Yeah, about the Akara business, I just wanted to comment something about that quickly. My issue with the comment was that, one, this is people, it came across as if they don't have ambition for their own people. And it's almost like something somebody can announce in 1919 and it will still fall in place. But we are talking about an age of AI, quantum computing, and different stuff. And the president's wife comes out and talks about women making akara, not to scale up akara manufacturing so that we can export it overseas. No, just to fry akara on the road. And I see that, and I'm beginning to believe that Nigerians at the top see these things in the same way. Because I saw a lady that was on this, she's a billionaire according to what they said. She was talking about how diasporans can come and invest in Nigeria. Then she said she doesn't understand why people complain that Nigerians are going overseas. That if they want 50 million, we will send them 50 million. And when the person that posted it and I commented on it, that is a very wrong-headed thinking. The guy was like, yeah, they're making money. Now, you see, it's a good thing because that's what India is doing. I said, have you looked at India and China? Have you seen the difference between them? That is holding India back, if anything. They can't keep giving your people away. That you would think by now would have learned that lesson from slavery. Because there is something about our government that don't value us. And maybe we too, at the top, don't value life. I've always said that we have an anti-life culture whereby we export human beings to go and serve other people. For some weird reason, we don't see that those human beings are useful for us. And the way she came across saying those sort of things, I think it ties into all the rise. I saw a video where they were giving meat even. They treat us as if we are like a slave race or something beneath civilization. Coming out in 2026 to talk about women frying akara. We are not talking about, shops here. Akara level at 50,000 naira is on the road. Akara. Not a shop. Nothing like that. And that is what I found problematic because there is no ambition there. There is no ambition. And I find that, I think maybe some people inherently, this is what they don't like about it, but they don't know how to articulate it very well. There's something about it that is unseemly, and our leaders are always like that. This is why your president can go and change your national anthem to that of a British woman in a country where we export music. They don't see us as anything. Why are our people like this? I struggle with it. And to be fair, the person I was speaking to about this at least took correction because he never saw that sending your people overseas like that is a bad thing. And one other thing I saw in Nigeria, because I normally use YouTube premium account, so I don't see adverts. I don't see adverts at all. But because I'm in Nigeria, the YouTube decided that I'm an eloper, so they are not going to give me the premium service anymore. So I started seeing adverts. And every day, every time, they are advertising for our youths to go overseas to them. They are indoctrinating our youths not to serve their country. And I don't understand how our people allow this to happen. They think that is going to lead us to progress. It's not going to lead us to progress. All your children, they will be looking at how they're going to go overseas and go and serve them. And when the place that they are serving is gaining far more from them than you will ever gain from remittance. But we don't know that because somehow we bought into that stupid mindset where it's
hold on. Forefathers, hold on. Who are the people advertising this you're talking about? We can't hear you anymore. Maybe
sorry. Different people from Canada, from Norway, different countries. They will say some of them through education, through a program to come and work, all kinds of stuff. Some of them you don't even have to write an exam. they are indoctrinating them to travel overseas. It's like continuously. This is what, do you know? This is one of the methods I thought we as a people from this panel, if we put resources together, we can advertise to Nigerians on how to change the country. But these other people are doing it to steal all our minds to their country constantly. And this is something I don't know why nobody picked up on this, because when I saw it, that was, in a way, I shouldn't be surprised. And our leaders allow it to happen. Look at North Korea, look at China that don't allow all this nonsense to happen. They have more progress than we do because we sell all our minds into service of foreigners. But that is one side. About America, what I see in America that is actually positive is their ability to get their citizens to buy into their narrative and their so-called American dream. The reason why that is powerful is because it doesn't matter whether it is true. It's whether you can convince people to believe it. Clearly, the American dream is unreal. Clearly, a lot of people are underclasses that don't have a lot of privilege, but they do sell it strongly that many of us will go there and happily serve them with all our might. And America is very, very good at that. I have to give America credit for that. Maybe because they have a lot of resources. And I also like the fact that they take their security very, very seriously. Not the gun culture though, but they do take their they do take external security very seriously, other than gun culture. But if I'm to advise America today, I've said it before, they need war counseling, but they will not listen to me. But my fear for America is that the future is very, very bleak for America. The direction they are going, the demographic shift that is happening, and the fact that America as a hegemon is facing serious challenge around the world. And America will respond. And this war in Iran is not going to end quietly. America will respond, and things are going to get messy because America would rather do that than go back to Epstein file and go back to the demographic shift challenges that they're going to face inside the country. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Rudolph, permit me 1 second. To forefathers, I think there is what they call the National Orientation Agency in Nigeria. You should teach this idea to them. You don't need a platform to do it. It will work very well. They have budget for ideas like this, and they can make it known to the Nigerian people of how to stay back and build Nigeria. It will work and be very fast if you really believe in that idea. Thank you.
Yeah, and Solly, go ahead. I think you have a question.
Sorry, you know what? Last week I would have said they know. Now I don't think they know. So maybe it's worth me going there and actually having a word with them. Thank you.
Are you in Nigeria, forefathers? Or is that top secret?
Why do you think my internet connection is so shaky? I'm in Nigeria.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, Solly, go ahead.
Yeah, so when it came, you got to the point of saying that they are running adverts to target Nigeria. They run adverts here in the Netherlands for people to go to Malta to go and, work in casinos, but people are not doing that. So are you saying they are targeting Dutch people to come and do that also, by your logic?
Good question.
It's everything always seems like
those ones are not. Those ones are Western. Hold on. Don't do that. Those ones are Western nations. They are not susceptible to the kind of advert that is coming to Nigeria. That's the difference. East Europeans came to Western Europe and they returned back to Eastern Europe because their country is doing better now. Those about adverts will not affect them that strongly, but Nigerians it will. That's why North Korean. Pardon?
They are running the adverts. As Nigeria is a capitalist country, you are free to advertise jobs if you want.
All right.
Yeah, but don't you understand what I'm saying? We are susceptible to it.
That is free market economy. You can't start it. Yeah.
You know what? I can't help you there. That's where your mind is.
If the government wants to stop people from doing that, then that is on the government. You can't stop them for advertising what they want to advertise.
Even if you stop them from advertising, would that stop people from leaving if the country is not working for them?
Right.
It's not just the adverts.
My point is that if you have to slow down the people that are leaving your country, and if they can run their advert, but you can block it in your country, like in Russia, India, even India, you don't see those adverts. China, all those places, those people have their own strategy now. That's what they have their own strategy. They send people to the West and they make sure they return back to contribute to the economy. And some of them that even in the West, they contribute to them to buy intellectual property rights in the West. But we don't have a strategy. Our strategy is let them go and serve. The fact that solely you are looking at this way, I'm really disappointed that you don't understand that you have to have the best minds in your country. The best mind in your country is supposed to remain in your country to build it.
Yeah, but they're not going to remain if the people managing the country are not making it good for
they
them.
See you as a Karasela. They see you.
Rudolph, I think
there's nothing bad in selling akara.
No, they see you. So you go to school to test.
It's not about that. North Korea leader prevented their people from. Sorry.
Okay, hold on, guys. I don't like people talking over each other. Hold on. No, hold on. Sorry, we're not going back to that. We can find a way to put it into what you're saying. The flagship. Go ahead. Let me hear you.
Oh, well, I was just going to mention that I think what Forefathers is saying is the same thing that Mrs. Tinubu is saying, but he's saying it in a different way.
All right. So explain it for Forefathers to understand that
the economy is bad, and you're asking the people to stay back there and fry akara. To fry akara for they're leaving. The economy is bad, and you're asking them not to leave, but to remain there and endure the punishment and suffering that they are going. So they would always leave, get a better
how does that correlate? See, what I'm advocating is you restrict to an extent the indoctrination of your own people, because like look at Iran today and look at North Korea today. You guys used to laugh at them, they are useless and everything. They are far more advanced than Nigeria today. North Korean economy is growing right now. They have far more better infrastructure than we do. Even Iran that has been bombed today has even more power supply than we do. Why do you think Israel was going after their scientists and their engineers? Because they educated their people and they kept them inside the country, even if the country wasn't doing too well. You can't allow foreigners to brainwash your people. Don't you understand that? Don't you value your people's lives? But our people, we have anti-life culture and we won't learn. And you think it's only the elites that are like that? Look at what they are saying here. They don't understand. You've sold your people into slavery for hundreds of years. You still haven't learned any lesson from it. That your lives matter. You need to keep your people in your country to develop your country. But I don't know how else I'm going to say it.
I support you, Forefathers. I support you.
All right. Let me bring in KJ. You have to take over. I promise that I have to leave, unfortunately. But I wanted the conversation on this America to happen so that I'll hear people's opinion. I'll watch it later, and also Pastor Enoch Adeboye and what he said about Tinubu. I think there is a conversation that we need to have around that, especially with people's reaction. People felt that he was being criticized. People don't. I think they are pretending they don't understand why he was being criticized. I want to hear what people think about that, because sometimes this issue, it might be minor on the surface, just like we are talking about Remi Tinubu. It might be minor on the surface, but there's a bigger issue around it. And of course, the main topic today should have been Adeniyi, which I hope you guys will get to. Because if that is happening in that country, I don't think the most important thing is to worry about who is advertising to get people out of that country. You should be telling everybody to leave. If there could be a fake agency that hired 300 people and it's in the budget and its presidency is telling you they don't know about it, you should tell everybody you know is to leave the country, because I wouldn't want to live in that kind of place. But anyway,
why would you tell them to leave? You solve the problem. Jesus Christ, why do we always want to abandon sheep? Are you jumping into another man's ship because they have agency? Destroy the agency.
Forefathers, I'm happy you are back in Nigeria, and I'm hoping that you can walk into the orientation agency and begin the conversation, because I want you to do what you are saying. Part of the argument here is to encourage you to show example that it could be done. It's not about just saying people should stay and people should not leave. It's also saying that I'm here, I'm going to make that change. Don't go anywhere. Let's make the change. That's what is needed in the country.
No, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So that's the message. The message is not. Let the naysayers be saying what they are saying. That's, to you, it's nonsense. You are there to say you are going to prove right that we can make this change, and I'm here with you. Don't go anywhere. Let's go. and I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I think making the argument is a valid point. There was a time I would have thought Nigerians knew that, but they don't know. They actually don't know. They actually think it's a good idea to be sending people overseas. They don't understand it.
All right. So we have 220 something million people. So even if some people leave, you still have enough people to work with and fix the place. All right. I'll see you guys. I have to run. Thank you so everybody.
That's exactly what that lady said. 50 million. That's exactly what you want to say. That's why I think it's actually valid to teach Nigerians this. Because they don't know. They actually think it's a good idea.
Okay, KJ,
they think it's a good idea.
Help anchor the next maybe an hour or two, and then Fofana.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna be an hour, and I'll hand over to Fofana, who is ready to.
Yeah. All right, I'll see you guys.
All right.
Bring Ovie back and other people who are back in.
Okay, yeah, Ovie especially, yeah.
Okay, and Ike. Okay, I'll see you.
Okay.
I'll be listening.
Okay.
All right, take care.
All right, thank you. Okay.
You can put me in the backstage.
Okay, all right. Ovie and my friend, the flagship want to go behind. Okay. Yeah, Soli, you have your hands up. I've not even said anything. You have your hands up. What's up?
Okay, me, I want to talk about the Akara issue.
We have finished that. That's what I've been doing since now. Please, let's not go there. Let's go to the main topic, where I think most people are here to actually hear and see. Yes. Like we say those days in the barracks, parade don't change, commander don't change. So everybody, line up. Oh yeah, quick match for. All right, gentlemen. Truly, I want to sympathize with Nigerians. When I say sympathize, not because of any other, except the fact that a lot of things are happening, and let's not just go there. Let's go straight to this. Let's just play that video. I will refresh everybody's mind, and then Rudolph has signed that, and the whole thing has followed him. Oh my God. Okay, sure. If you are behind me, if you are listening to me, can you put back Adeni's video so we can have a bite at it? All right. You early. Sometimes in 2025, there was a man who was said to have infiltrated the federal secretariat, the presidency, and giving himself an opportunity to become one of the special assistants and a DG to a ministry, a parastatal under the presidency, and all that blew up. Rudolph, if you can still hear me, please load back that video. As you left, the whole thing went off. So can you use that to remind everybody what we're talking about? All right. How many of us have heard the story of Mr. Adeniyi, or Prince Adeniyi, who accused Gbajabiamila of being the person who is aware of the appointment and all that, and he procured the appointment from him? This agency has been operating for over 1 year. It has a budget. It has over 300 staff. Okay, let me just read that what I've already
KJ, sorry, it is not Prince Adeniyi that accused. It is Gbajabiamila that said that the agency, there's an agency that was fake, that is not existing. So that's what started the argument.
Yes, the the chief of staff to the president, who is one of the most powerful people in the cabinet of the president government, accused this man of running an agency that does not exist. Now, before you guys begin to jump in, I want to give you something so we don't have to start from there. You already know. First and foremost, this guy who is accused of being a fraud has an account with the Central Bank of Nigeria. That agency has an account open for it with the Central Bank of Nigeria. That agency has over 300 staff that are working in the second floor of the Federal Secretariat. If you know Abuja, the three arm zone, the presidency, the National Assembly, and the Federal Secretariat, which is one of the areas that you hardly, it's always very secured. So he has 300 staff plus working under him. He has an office in that place, in which is the Federal Secretariat. You don't get an office in the Federal Secretariat if you are not a government staff, or that office is also allocated only to you through the Secretary of the Federal Government, who allocates that office. This man has done collaboration with the EFCC, the chairman of EFCC, for which they even gave him an award, or he gave them an award. This guy has also, now this is where the problem started coming afresh. He now veered into foreign affairs, holding meetings with ambassadors and trying to conduct some international businesses on behalf of Nigeria. This man is also has police orderly assigned to him. This man is also has, now this is a very important one, his fake, as they say, agency has a budgeting code. In other words, for you to have a budgeting code means that you're legit, because not IKJ can get budgeting code no matter how important my company is. So for you to have a budgeting code means that you are totally in alignment or recognized by the presidency. Now here's the where I will hush. The presidency has a handbook where all the agencies' names and who head them is there. So if you are a chief of staff, or if you are working in the presidency under that office of the chief of staff, you must have those so that you're able to identify who comes and who goes. And when they come, you'll be able to say, this is this person, this is that person. Okay. All this was in play until Mr. Bajabi Amila said this man was a fake, and they now accuse him of all what I've told you. And now this has been blown open. It first was flagged off or discovered in 2025. 1 year after, that office is still running, and this is coming up afresh today. The question that you'll be asking is, and I have asked myself severally, I haven't known how government work. I know it's not possible for him alone to have done all this. But the important thing is that the man who helped to secure this appointment within him and Badabi Amila died in a fire incident once this news broke up. At least before this news broke off, the man died mysteriously in a fire incident.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So right now, nobody apart from his word and this other guy can actually tell us what is going on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Nigeria that we are in today. Know ye also that the presidency is the highest point of office in Nigeria. And that's why. And things are supposed to be done. If you have ever asked yourself, why are people addressed as your excellency? It means that at the point where they are, things must be at an excellent level. Nothing is taken for granted. Everything is searched through and researched and researched and researched. Yet these guys have operated to this level. Now the floor is open. And I called Mr. Tony. He has worked in these levels. So let's know whether is that the way people used to do this thing. And how many agencies are out there that we don't know that are operating like masquerade?
Well, KJ, this is one of the American wonders that we see in Nigeria. You know, there's so many of them, and this may well just be one of those cases that is being exposed. There probably will be many of this sort. Now, the optics is not good. You don't need anybody to be schooled to understand that there is something amiss. First of all, you have given some of the facts. Before any parastatal gets appropriation, it will go through debates and screening. First, it will go through the Senate, the appropriation committee, and then they will make their submissions. They will come before the whole House, the Senate floor, and they will debate it. The same thing with the House, and they would, approve, and it will go to the Chief of Staff to the President for accent. So we know that this parastatal, which doesn't exist, has a vote, a provision, for the financial year 2026. Even after someone had flagged, said that there's a fake parastatal that is operating. Yet it was approved, it was signed, it had an account, it has a TSA account, has a domiciliary account in the in the central bank. The officers in the central bank could not detect, because there are two issues. First of all, it was that it doesn't exist, and then some spokesperson of the president came to say it is fake. So all these processes could not be detected by the Senate. The central bank couldn't detect it. The SGF couldn't detect it. They have an office, they have furniture, they have cars, is on Twitter, is on Instagram, is conducting adverts, it has the ambassadorial engagements, travel abroad with the money that is appropriated, has 34 accounts in commercial banks, met the accountant general is aware because the process has to go through the accountant general of the federation. The security agencies couldn't detect it because part of the procedure is also to go through there. The head of service, the recruitment has about 300 staff. You mentioned it. They have an office, they have furnitures, and they've been doing their job. And yet someone tells us that it doesn't exist. I find it difficult, to believe that, because from what we know, it exists. But they shied away from that argument. I say, oh no, now it's fake. Nobody appointed him. Now, dealing with that argument, the man said, it's not fake. I paid 400 million to someone who are an intermediary, and then I have a balance of 200 million to give. And is that possible? Yes. I know that happens in Nigeria. I know that of a fact that it happens. If you take the customs, take the police, take the immigration and so on. Sometimes for you to get a very favorable posting where you'll be getting something into your pocket outside your pay, you have to settle some people and they put you at choice position. Let me tell you something here that I know personally. And I'm going to be very, very factual. If you go to Alausa, the gate from where His Excellency, when I was there, the gate from where the Excellency comes in, one of the choice areas is to be posted at the gate if you're a police person. Because most of the time when the Excellency passes, he drops something. So that is you are guaranteed if you are there that at least every day or every week, by the time things are shared, something will do your pocket. I tell you a case that I know. Someone who used to be who used to be a friend, because that's many years ago, who was removed from the post, and who His Excellency knows at the time. And His Excellency was coming, and he didn't see the guy. And he said, and he called, said, where is this guy? They said, no, they deployed him to somewhere else. Excellency said, no, I want to be seeing him there. They should bring him back. Wherever he is, they should bring him back. Because, he wasn't delivering. They didn't know his connection. He wasn't delivering to anybody. He was there because someone who just liked him just put him there, say, I want to be seeing you there. So it happens. You give people, you pay some money and you get a good post. So if that accusation was made, I'm not saying that money was given to, but I'm saying that those things happen. That's the point I'm trying to establish. Now, in all this argument, that has not been interrogated. Was the money given? Is it true? Secondly, the person who was said to be the middleman, the go-between, who did this, mysteriously has died. And the police went there after 5 days in a hotel where they say he was staying, and they say the guy has died, by fire. I think we need an independent investigation and the forensics to be done. We need to see the CCTV. We need to see who came in there at that time, whichever day that he died. We need to know people who are going and coming in there. We need to see, do some fingerprinting. We need to see the cause of death, the autopsy report. We need to see all those things. The police doesn't have the capacity to do that. So we need an independent, body that has capacity that will do that, so that we can establish the veracity otherwise of that thing. And the optics is not good. Now that person died a day after a report was made to the police that this whole thing is happening. So that person is gone. Would have been a vital witness in this case, but it's gone. And then the so-called DG of this agency has told us how many times they made an attempt to assassinate him. One of them, on his way, Kaduna, traveling from Kaduna to somewhere else. And while he was unconscious, he had an accident. He gives the impression that the accident was a framed, it wasn't natural. And so maybe while he was unconscious, some of his belongings were removed, his phone and some other documents were removed. And it was when it was tracked, it was found somewhere in Gombe. And while the investigation was going on, there was a call from somewhere at the top to say suspend that investigation. So this is an account of the person, So there are so many imponderables here that we need to unearth. And if it's a place where things go right, I think the people who have been fingered here, in the interest and in the interest of justice, and the fact that the chief of staff is so close to the president, this is an attempt maybe to smear the president. And I think that the president should be concerned with what is happening. Send this person, send
Tony,
him on
before you go there,
interdict him.
Why are going there to the president? Anyway, I don't want to say anything.
Let me round up. Yes, because he's chief of staff. It's a very powerful position.
Hold on, Tony. What this individual has done, assuming he did it alone, is it not the same 10 and 10 pence that the president and he still have been doing? Are they different?
No, hold on. The president has not been mentioned in this issue. So let's give the president.
But not a new thing now. I mean, Alibaba and a 40 thief. Who's Alibaba? Who's the thief?
I am saying that this person has been involved in quite a number of things that are untoward. So
Tony, I'm saying to you that everybody in this government has one criminal past or the other. So what's the difference?
That's another debate altogether. But let us focus on this particular issue.
Okay, all right. Thank you. I'll come back, Tony. Thank you. Mr. James, I hope you're not leaving, but go ahead and say what you want to say.
Yeah, I will not take much time. This is not a case of what is the right English word? Anyway, it's a case of conspiracy. It's not a case of fake establishment in the presidency. It's a case of conspiracy. During the Yakubu Gowon's era, there were similar incidents, I think, in Benue Plateau State, between Godwin Dabo and Joseph Taka. If you double me, I will Taka you. That is the quarrel they have now. It is sharing formula, how to share the money. They have misunderstandings among themselves. I have been vehemently opposed to tribal appointments. When Buhari started to Fulanize the country, people protested, people complained bitterly. Bola Tinubu came and he followed the same line. He Yorubanized the government. If you look at the way this man operated, it seems that he used this Yoruba connection to fool the entire system. Anyway, I'm not accusing the Yorubas of fraud, because the interesting thing is that the Yorubas have been vehemently opposed to what happened. If you listen to the YouTube broadcasts, they've been vehemently opposed. People like Arise News, correspondents, channels, Femi Falana, and a lot of respectable Yoruba men, they have called for a public commission of inquiry to be set up to look into this matter. It's a case of conspiracy. The government is aware. What went wrong is the sharing formula. Some people did not get enough. That is just what is going on. And when I keep on saying that the country is beyond redemption, a lot of people disagree with me, particularly my good friend, Mr. Forefathers. I don't know of the native doctor that can cure the problem of Nigeria. The country is beyond redemption. We should be thinking of post-Nigerian republics. Should the country collapse eventually? Should it collapse eventually? How should we relate with each other? How will the people be governed to prevent anarchy before the new republics will stabilize? No native doctor can cure the problems of Nigeria. So that is all I have to say. I have to go home. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you, Mr. James. Thank you.
Please, can you just give me 1 minute, because there are issues here that I didn't, quickly. The man has indicted himself by saying that he didn't get the office by merit. He has not explained where he got the 400 million that he offered. How much tax he's paying. And then the people who are accusing him and labeling him and calling me all kinds of names have not answered the question of, is it true that someone said he should give him 48% of the allocation, of the agency's allocation? Those issues, was not addressed by the COS or Bio. So those are some critical issues that
Thank you.
This guy penetrated the entire government structures, executive, legislation, and probably the judiciary. How was the budget approved at the National House of Assembly? So, it's a case of conspiracy. It's not a case of fake fake establishment in the presidency. The government is taking the people for a ride. And this is what we know that has come out. What about the other terrible things that are happening? These people have borrowed heaven and hell from overseas banks. What are they doing with the money? They've never disclosed it to you and me. The only promises was the better tomorrow. Assuming the tomorrow did not come, what should we do? So this is the time for us to think of post-Nigerian republics. Thank you so much.
I agree with you. Thank you so much. And I'm coming to Ovie. Thank you also, Tony, for that input. Ovie, you know how Nigeria operates. The Central Bank of Nigeria is a bank for only government activities. And nobody can walk in there and have an account. But this man walked in there and have an account. He has had meetings with the Senate. He has had meetings with the Senate, the Deputy Senate Speaker of the House, Godwin, whatever his name is. What is his name? The number 6 man. No, the number 6 man, Benjamin Kalu. He had meetings with the EFCC chairman. He had meetings with, ministers and ambassadors and, almost everybody that you call everybody in Nigeria. And he goes there with his team. He doesn't go alone. He goes there with his team. And to make matters worse, this man's office is in the Federal Secretariat. The Federal Secretariat that houses only government functionaries. Tell me, Odvie, whilst you're thinking of answering that question, I want to go back in history and ask you, is it a repeat of history? Because in 1989, Augustus Ihomo was also involved in this kind of scandal with one Mohammed Bashir, who accused him of asking for 40% of the total cost of the budget of what the I can't remember the name of the oil firm now, that the Pan African oil something. Now, we are now in 2026. We see this same setup. At that time, Ajoso Hayomo also said, I don't know this man. The man said, no, you know me, sir. Because me and you, now we did this business. I'm only fronting it for you, but now you're asking for too much. The same thing this man is saying. This man is saying, no, Oga, you can't say you don't know me. Now me and you. Okay? And the reason why it is because you're asking for 49%, and I'm saying that I cannot pay salary when you give me the remaining. So what have I done here? Why wouldn't now say I am fake? Because now me and you process this thing. Now you bring the letter, can't give me. What do you see, my brother? You see, when we are saying Nigeria don't what how they say it, don't cast. This is what we're talking about. How do you see it, and what will be your observation? Who is right, who is wrong?
In that of the 70 you give, I would say, I came maybe I home was the name of that.
Yes,
Yeah, he's right. He's right because he's from my state, so it cannot be wrong.
So, sorry, Obie,
Yes.
sorry. I want to add, KJ, please. I have yogurt with me. Can I take my yogurt while I listen?
Please go ahead.
No. That's organic. We don't want to see organic. So Ikomo is right because he's from my state. We're always right. So, but I think what is playing out is if they, I mean, I wanted to say if they succeed, but I think they've already succeeded. It's a clever move by the Tinubu administration. And I'm saying that because what is happening is obvious. This is a special purpose vehicle or a special purpose entity set up to siphon money. So what the Tinubu administration is trying to do is trying to pull up what in politics we call a limited limited handover maneuvering. What means is that they are trying to manufacture a different narrative to substantiate the bigger picture. So why I'm saying is that this is a full function entity. Like from the presidency, the central banks is called pants down. The legislator has, I mean, every apparatus of the state is compromised. So how do you do that? For them to leak the secret first by flaunting Bajemi Amila. But as you can see with their antics, even the celebration they did a couple of days ago with the press, they made him they give him opportunity to speak. That's a message sending out there that those who were trying to leak the secrets, we are ahead of you. So they were just caught on compromised position. Now somebody won't leak the secret, so they just go ahead to put this antique first. And I say they are clever in doing it because it's happening at the time whereby, make I say, maybe 75% of the opposition they are not focused. Everybody is confused. They are fighting their own battle. Now, only Atiku seems to be saying, okay, it's calling for a private entity to investigate the thing. So maybe he know who wanted to leak the secret. But accusing, if you look at the way the thing they plan out on our medias, everybody is focused on Benjamin Miller. He has to resign. He has to resign. As if he resigns, that means anything. So what happened to the whole system? The CBN that operates the bank accounts, the legislative hand that deliberates in their budget. So what happened to all those ones? So that would be that should be the big news. That would do more damage to the administration than narrow it down to what Benjamin Amila and the so-called the managing director of the organization. So for me, it's already a loser case because, as I said, everybody they call for these two people's resignation. So even though they resign tomorrow, then they want this. So they are. So I'm not saying they are clever because I support what they are doing, but what they be today start. I think they started the organization about a year ago. So you know how much they don't, how many billions don't go through that parastator. So that's why I say they are genius. No matter how you want to see them, they don't win the narrative already. If everybody that is concerned is calling for Benjamin Miller to resign, that means it's a lose-lose case for the Nigerian people. But as again, I'm not surprised. Not them. because something of that magnitude cannot be taking place. You tell me, say, nobody know. This is not a secret. They are not doing secretly. It's a full plunge. They employ over 300. So everybody know. When I mean everybody, the power brokers, both the opposition, maybe they get one of two of their relatives that got employment, that the way they collect salary. So it's for me now just a waste of time, and that is because there is no opposition. That's why if not, they have better things to do. It's too late for us to start crying now because nobody will talk how much has been expended into that
Okay,
organization.
question to you, Ovie. How many other fake agencies are out there in the federal secretary we're not aware of?
Oh boy. I don't know. they are countless. There are plenty. I cannot say that. This one now, they say now they catch, now be thief. If you remember, actually, Buhari last administration, few weeks to his departure, now they launched Nigeria Airline. And they have to sharp. Now, this is before they arrive by showing us the airline. You know what it don't take place. So there are most special purpose vehicle or entity out there that we don't know. That one I just federal, includes with federal now. There are some that are happening under parastates as we go.
Okay. All right.
So,
KJ, sorry, I beg, no vex. You know, I think that what Nigeria should have done is to give this man an award. Because if he's able to beat all these this thing, they should give him a GCON or whatever. Because we need talents like this. If he can maneuver his way through all these organs and institutions, he must be a genius. I think we need really to use him. You know.
Is that a genius or we have compromised opposition? Because there's no way they can tell me they don't know about it.
You and that's Tony. I seem to default to what Ovie said, because you know something. Even if all these other agencies are beaten, let's assume they were beaten. The central bank is supposed, yes, is forensically look at every document that you send to them, and they could not do this on this case. No, there must be an insider, but maybe Solar will have a better understanding. He may have one of his uncles who is inside, and he will tell us how is it done. So Solar, are you aware that this has been going on? I didn't even bring it to our notice.
Sincerely, can you hear me?
Yeah, very clear.
Sincerely, I was really pissed off that I was really angry that I wasn't included in the deal, because I was readily available, to also be part of it, because I mean it's a national cake. To me, I refuse to be honest with you, drawn into this, because the way I'm going to take it is really going to be very, very different, because I think as a Nigerian, there are some certain things that we need to look at critically. And if this scandal does not cause a holy anger amongst Nigerians, and this guy is voted in 2027, and the only way we can know is if the people cannot and will not defend their vote, not through war or whatever, but stand there, let them count it, and defend this vote. My brother, I don't see any redemption. I mean, I don't see any redemption anyway. And that's where I'm always against forefathers. So I think it is wrong. And like you guys have alluded, there is no way. And I mean, I was listening to Charles, he say, or something from Arise TV, and when he invited 3 people, and even the APC guy that he invited, the guy could not even, his word doesn't make sense. He couldn't defend it because it's indefensible.
Just button. My wife was asking me, is this APC guy a small boy that doesn't know how to talk? I said, I don't know. She are hearing him.
That's just the point. He
So I'm just
he couldn't even defend it.
Yeah.
You know, and you look at it, and even Charles was really, really angry. I mean, the way he was talking, he just moved away from him. And we need to all look at this and say, look, if this thing happened, and everybody knows, even there was a guy that I think the NDC guy even said, even Arise News cannot open an account with CBN of Nigeria.
Yes.
Because it's government parastatal. And somebody, a ministry or whatever is called, open an account with CBN. And you guys are claiming that, oh, because they exposed him and he was part of the budget. I'm sorry, this is a scandal that should be able to send the country, the president out straight away. What brought Keir Starmer out is not far-fetched. It wasn't that maybe there was the only scandal, majority of the scandal was tied to Epstein. I mean, it is absolutely preposterous. The only way this thing can happen is either it's happening in Nigeria or more or less is currently happening under Donald Trump. Currently. So that's the only two places I know that it will happen, and more or less they'll go away with it. And any other fascist or more or less, dictatorship countries. So, but for me, I believe Nigerians should look at this and take away all ethnicity bias. I think the other man that was talking about, countries and stuff, he made some very, very good points in which I agreed. That if we don't move from this ethnicity, this religiousness, and I find it absolutely annoying. I'm sorry. I mean, it's not simply because of Pastor Adebo. I'm a Christian, but I'm not those kind of Nigerian brainwashed Christians. I mean, how can you even... Pastor Adebo was saying Donald Trump is my friend. Donald Trump don't like you. He hates the God of the blacks. He hates Nigeria. He hates Africa as a whole. Because you're in the US, you're saying, oh, Donald Trump, my friend Donald Trump. And I look at him and I said, Baba, do you even know what you're talking about? And I find it that, I look at it. During Jonathan's time, this is the same man that will carry placard and was walking. Does this thing not anger us as a nation? We put everyone bias. Oh, he's a Yoruba man. Because he's an Igbo man that is there. Okay, he's from South. Oh, the country is not working. We all go because we are Yoruba. The whole Yoruba people, we move. Oh, he's an Hausa man. Oh, the whole people we carry, we move. Oh, because he's a... When are we going to get out of this?
That's the question.
So the reality is that, see, Ovie, we are never... There's no time that we are ready.
That's my question to you, Sola.
There's no time.
This agency has a budget charge, has a budget code. His budget was presented in the National Assembly. It was defended.
Yes.
And oversight function was assigned, and they came to do oversight in his office. So please let me know. I want to understand what else is remaining to make him legit. How is he fake?
No, he's a legit guy. You see, what is going to happen is this. And I can bet anybody, if you bet more, nothing will come out of this.
It's over.
I repeat, nothing. Thank God. The other gentleman in glasses, I don't know, maybe he's the one in Nigeria, or there's another man that is always in Nigeria that also talks as well. Nothing will come out of this. It will die a natural death. Nothing will happen to Gbajabiamila because he's a right-hand man to Tinubu. So everybody knows that. They will kill it naturally. And that's what's going to happen. So for me, I am not moving towards that direction. I am only moving towards the direction of, if these things does not anger you as a Nigerian, to go and vote these people out in 2027. If they don't vote him out, KJ, I don't know what else will happen. I rest my case.
Thank you so much.
I'm expecting them to set up a committee to investigate it by the same people who are.
The people, that's what I wanted to ask Pastor Ike. You just took it out of my mouth. The people who are responsible for thieving this thing and causing this corruption in Nigeria have said to set up an investigation into discovering who and how this man, this fraudster, happened to open an account with CBN, government owned, happened to have 300 staff plus working in federal secretariat, government owned, happened to have meetings with National Assembly, and even National Assembly checking his budget and approving it, government, happened to host foreign affairs. In fact, the reason why this thing became a problem was because if the man didn't venture into inviting ambassadors for meeting, we'll probably not have any problem here. It was the main point that he stepped out to start inviting ambassadors to be having meetings. There are some foreign ambassadors now wrote to say, what's this agency for? We don't understand. And then the Foreign Affairs Ministry in Nigeria also decided to ask the presidency, who is this person and why is he playing this role? Okay. And then the Nigerian Export Promotion Council say, we can't have two agencies doing the same thing. We are promotion council. This will also promotion. So who is promoting who? All government agencies. And now he has police orderly assigned to him, working with him. Okay? And he has a man who is in charge of corruption in Nigeria, giving the man an award, and they are all so like what is going on? Please, if you can help us understand. And then people are accusing you people as the opposition and not being able to pick up this issue and run with it. Just go to the rooftop, shout, so every Nigerian will know that this is what's going on, so that people will be angry enough to vote them out. Are you possibly going to do that in the coming year?
Mr. Ike, before you start, don't forget that we know that when the man was appointed, he went to church for Thanksgiving. You were invited to come and pray for that Thanksgiving. So you also play a role.
My brother.
Yeah, the man said the appointment letter came from Bademi Ali Abila. So he's that he was given an appointment.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you, sir.
As we are enjoying the World Cup, no matter whatever happens, we will always be happy with the football that is going on. At least it gives us a little bit of joy to be at home on the weekend, KJ, listen, one of the things that whenever my brother forefathers come here to preach, begin to this preaching of Nigeria, stay home and rebuild your country, and why you becoming slave to the white man, you're becoming a slave to the white man. He will display data of North Korea with Nigeria, all these daughters of where he's bringing his data, You see, there has never been any consequences of anything in Nigeria before. We're talking about Wajabia Mila. How about the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Deputy Speaker? How about the President of the Senate and the Deputy President of the Senate? How about like Tony said, the Appropriation Committee of the House of Rep and the Senate? How about the oversight of the House of Rep and the Senate? How about the people at the Central Bank? How about the AFCC? How about the presidency? How about the budget office? Listen, this is a net. This is a net. When you go to the ocean to catch fish, you throw the net. The net catch every department of the existence of Nigerian government. And we're talking about only Wajamia Amila, whatever they call him. In his own case, he has always been corrupt. Remember when he was wanted in the US? listen, if we are living in a normal society, by now, we would have seen how many people that would have resigned from the offices, from the Senate to the House, to the committee, to the budget office, to the presidency, to the federal secretariat, to the everywhere. It's only in your country, Nigeria, that the federal secretariat will have an organization that the government of the day said that they don't know anything about that organization. Federal secretariat, second floor of the federal secretariat, running. And remember, when we were talking about the budget, I learned yesterday the starting fund this organization had was 25 billion. Starting fund, not the budget. But you know, when you start an organization, the starting fund he received was about 25 billion. And up to today, this afternoon, where in my beautiful island is about 20 minutes after 4 in the afternoon. Nobody has resigned. Nobody has been arrested. Nobody has been questioned. No offices have been sealed by EFCC. EFCC, they say, are culprit to the crime. So it is to tell you, those people who come here to tell you, let us go home and let us leave the white man country. Let us stop being slaves. Go back home and rebuild your country. You know, let us join hands and rebuild your country. I want to bless my brother, Dr. Damages, who told him that he should be able to start. Stop talking. Stop waiting for me. Stop waiting for KJ. Stop waiting for Brother Ike or Tony or go and start your own, right? The orientation agency in Nigeria, you can go there and apply. What is the problem? Should you have to, connect everybody before you know that you want Nigeria to be better? You can decide to quit from London where you live. You can decide to move back to Nigeria completely and start even from your local government. And let us begin to see that way that you want to rebuild that country called Nigeria, that you have the magic wand that is going to transform and change Nigeria in overnight to become a better country, So, KJ is going to die. It's going to die a natural death like other ones has died. It was not in this platform when they launched the Nigerian New Airways. It was here, I told you, that before in the evening, you are going to hear that that airline does not belong to Nigeria and is going to be confiscated by Ethiopian airline. We were still on this Dr. Damage's platform, and breaking news came that airline has been confiscated by Ethiopian airline. When they opened the Abuja hospital with the billions that they used to open that Abuja hospital, it was here I said, I give that hospital 1 month. If you go there and find paracetamol, then that means that I am lying. Where is that hospital today? Where is that gigantic hospital that was open on that day? Where is it? So where is the former governor of Kogi State? Is contesting the Senate? Where is the story of Betty Edu?
Betty.
This government is a web of corruption. This government is rotten to the point that they will just do it and it will disappear, and everybody will go in. Like Ovie said, in the appropriation committee, they used to say the minority have their say and the majority have their way. That's always what it is, So when you sometimes want to blame the oppositions, you try to chew the political landscape of Nigeria. But what we are saying is that whenever Mr. Peter Obi is speaking, they say he's playing politics. He's not providing solution, and the other oppositions are only waiting. They're only waiting to attack Mr. Peter Obi. They are not waiting to talk about the government that is in power. Everybody has sharpened their sword against one man. And all of us are calling ourselves opposition. You know? So at the end of the day, we are creating that room and opportunity for this government of corruption, corrupt web of government to go back to power. You know, so I cannot blame. There must be members of the opposition political party who are in the appropriation committee. Why did they not speak? Why did they not say something? There must be some opposition who are members of the oversight also. What did they discover? If they discover anything, what were you forced not to say anything? You know, so.
Thank you, Mr. Ike. I agree with your submission totally. I don't know why they have to wait for, has P2B become the headmaster of Nigeria, that he must have to speak before the rest of them speak. They make it look as if he's the only one who's supposed to be speaking if there's something to be spoken about, which is not right at all. And so I don't hold him, I don't fault him. And truly, I want to agree that the whole setup is now to make sure that P2B don't have a platform. So if I were him, just the way he's playing is the same way I will play. I will think of when I should say and what I should not say. But I don't think that so far he has done badly. He has done very well as far as I'm concerned. And on this issue, we're going to just finally round up. You give us your final thoughts so we can quickly move off to forefather. Mr. Tony, tell us in 2 minutes, what's your stake? I mean, we didn't talk about Papa Adeboye. I deliberately left that for forefather to come and talk about. Not because it's not. It's I'm between the devil and the blue sea. You know why I say that? I not one of his sheep, but I respect the man. For you to have such a large flock, God must know you by name, and so I'm being very, very careful not to say what will not go down well. But I dare to say, as a priest in the house of God, there are certain positions you take when your people are being affected that you cannot but take action. And I'll give a quick example before I leave, before I let you answer. God instructed Isaiah to anoint Ahab and other people. Okay, but I say Ahab, Jehu. Now, Elijah chose not to anoint Jehu because he knew who Jehu was. You see, Jehu was, in the order of the sword. He doesn't take nonsense. So he said to anoint other people, including anointing Elisha, who are more of principled people who like to play it cool. Okay? God himself had to anoint Jehu by himself to carry out what he wanted. Is that the politics that Adebo is playing here? Because why tell us that the president have done all that he can because I've given an order? You are the commander-in-chief. And you are giving an example of Trump. Trump doesn't allow people who don't function, who don't perform in office. He takes them out. In fact, he doesn't even wait. He fires them on air. So if you are operating in that order and you have given orders to your defense chiefs and they're not giving you the answers you need, are you waiting until the whole country is run over before you can take action? Because I don't know if you saw the video that was trending this week, how they have lined up in the Sahel waiting for the whistle for them to go ahead and come into Nigeria. They all have packed up their things. All of them are in bikes. They have extra jerrycans of four extra jerrycans of gas, and their baggages tied to their bikes. And they are just waiting at the order to say, okay, make gonna begin come. What are we witnessing in Nigeria? Is it that the church doesn't know how to take a position and call out its people? It's losing more members than can ever count, or what?
Well, I think Pastor Adeboye, or Daddy Gio, as they used to call him, said the honestness. I think he didn't have any business going to speak the way he did. As a Christian, I would not want to talk down on him, but I think that what he said, if you place it side by side with his behavior in the past and some of his pronouncements, I don't think that you would really like him. And I'm just being honest. I listened to him sometime when he talked about drinking tea with God. I also listened to him a video where he was saying that he prayed for Nigeria. He prayed for Nigeria with his team. That's why the naira has remained stable. And I just shook my head, because all those things, as someone who is also a teacher, a Sunday school teacher, they are not scriptural. I listened to him when he reversed himself, when he talked about tithing. And, the things that he said initially about tithing, that if you don't tithe, you go to hell. Thank God he reversed himself, because you can't find it in the scripture. I think people should pause and just not, as Paul warned us in Galatia, in the book of Galatia. If any man, whether he be an angel, whether he be a prophet, or whoever it is, that comes to you and preaches another gospel that is not the gospel, let that person be accursed. That's the scripture. Nigerians should decide. That's why you have to search these things for yourselves. If you are that close to God and you can pray and God would hear, there's so many things to pray for. Insecurity, for instance. You pray for it and it will end. That naira should not even just stay at 1,300 plus. It should go back to $1 to 1 naira. Then that would be a miracle in Nigeria. If you come out and say, I prayed, people say, yeah. So I don't understand. I think that, for many people, his reputation, he just rubbished his reputation among so many people. We have to say the truth sometimes. Paul called out Peter when he was doing anyhow. He called him out. So when our ministers are doing stuff, that you have to call them out, that this is not the way. So whether he's doing that because he has a pastor who is close to the president in his church, that may affect whatever he gets. It's neither here nor there. But you see, all these things will be exposed in the fullness of time. But let me leave that there. Let me just go to this whole issue of this fake or no fake thing, and it doesn't exist or it doesn't. I think it's been said here that in some countries where people have common sense, where things work well, this wouldn't be an issue to be discussed. You are talking about resignation, you're talking about people going to jail, you're talking about people being arrested. You have arrested Rufai, you have arrested Tambua, you have arrested Malami, you have arrested, at this time, and people should have the decency to say, let me step aside in my own interest for these things to be investigated. If I'm found guilty, you should take it on to say, investigate me. And then, because it's important, this is something that's going to be there. If you think because we are fond of sweeping things under the carpet, it will just go, that's a lie. That's a big lie, I can tell you. But having said that, I think for me, all it points out is that there probably is not new. People shouldn't marvel. It's not new, because this type of thing is also related to what happened in Rivers State between the governor and his Oga over, what I'll get and what I won't get, what you appoint or what you won't appoint. And elsewhere, I don't want to mention that place. We also know that it happens there, and the governor had to lose, couldn't go back to second term because of what you should give me and what you shouldn't give me. So these things are not new, but we have allowed it. And so I agree totally with people who are saying this is not a country. It's not a country. And sometimes I tend to agree with James that boy, I think we should just find another way to end so Israel. That's my contribution.
Thank you so much. Oh yeah. Yeah. What do you say?
And I think within they happen, especially this week, is revealing. You know, when people like me talk about the system, you know, people that don't understand say we are conspiracy theories. You because now they make us focus on Tinubu. Oh, we don't know who he is. He's a drug dealer. This. But in the midst of all that, a full ministry was established. That says a lot about the man in charge. That means he's totally in control of the system. You overwhelm the system for something like that to be happening at every level. And not be saying that Nigeria leak the secret from the information that is available now. IMF leak the secret that ministry, that particular entity has amassed over 8 trillion naira. So now, when we talk about system, we talk about not just the people who vote for, even the captain of industry, all these billionaires and Dangote, the bureaucrat operators, all these way, the head of this, head of that, they all work in sync. The religious leaders. Adebayo is as important as the president himself, even if not more important. And I'm saying this because when he come out to support Tinubu, you know, no be Abuja in Titokam, you know, they Ota, you know, they anywhere. It was in DC. What does that tell you? That the war against Christian genocide, if there's anything like that, has been won. And you have to give Tinubu his credits. We might not like him. We might not like him. Because what the Christian genocide, with everything that is happening, those are serious things that threaten the country or his administration. But for some reason, he held it together. However, we don't know the agreement way inside. However, detrimental is that. But one thing is that he keep everything steady going. So for it to take an outside whistleblower to bring this up says a lot about how much of a control he has over the system. So if the religious leaders are with him, the Dangote, the Tudelos, Lumelo, I'm with him because they are not saying anything, right? We know Medolu, Lumelu, when he hit them hard, then they come out, they talk. So for them to keep quiet, that means everything is working according to plan. When Tinubu come out, say he has stabilized the economy and people are flourishing, I understand, say an average Nigeria will get hungry. But they always talk him. At that level, they are not talking to you. Whether we like it or not, for the big business guy, the economy don't stable. Their wealth is doubling. These are facts. Those people will be billionaires, and the people are getting poorer. So when they speak at that level, he's talking to his clients. So we would expect in the other overstated things, in the underrated, has nothing to do with us. I said it here. If you don't have the national presence, you don't have any business weighing about what the presidency. Focus on your state. Politics is local. If you cannot influence people in your locality, now Abuja won't come move weight. Now I'm saying all this that now system with everybody be in sync. The religious leader, the traditional leader, the head of agbiros, all these are elites because they have the ability to persuade followers, either by threats or by just words of wisdom. These are the people that keep the system working. So when we that's why they always talk this idea of coming on platform, just insult leader. Yeah, you always satisfy your emotion at that time, but they move anything. You don't move anything. That is because it's obvious that the CBN is under his control, the legislative man is under every aspect of even those entities that are indirectly linked to that organization that they call into question now, they are also in link. So there is a need for us to look the thing, to criticize the thing holistically. As far as I'm concerned, once somebody don't elect as president, he don't finish. Or let's say those people who are directly invested, they feel once they are quiet, nothing the ordinary people will talk, especially at this point we are not together. And I understand this when Bola Tinubu was declared a winner. Everybody quiet. When I mean everybody, those people who are power brokers in every region. Chimamanda, they write letter to Biden, the verse, say they keep quiet. What do you expect? They wanted him there. Now you go to see it line. Oh, Tinubu no fit go alone. They no fit go Washington. It doesn't matter. Donald Trump don't pack in boys. Say terrorism is good. The Christians are back in there. They live their best life again. Right? Me and you know that nothing has changed. But for them to bring Adeboye to deliver the message, because that wasn't deliberate. It was a full sermon in their presence, just like when Tinubu go London, go to say, power is not served by Alakat. He not talking for a village, he talking for the empire state of power. So to me, these are the more things. When somebody is running for president, look at who are the people around him. Corners then go work. Now nobody that accused Tinubu, nobody that ruined the city, they are accused by Jimmy Amila. Somebody way in a point. It doesn't matter if that guy resign, he go carry on that one put for them again. So we might disagree with this Bola Tinubu government. The truth is that it's in total control of the system. That is not it's very obvious, and it's to tell you that 2027 is gone.
Thank you so much, Ovie. Thank you so much. That would have been my last comment, but here is my Oga at the top, Oga Masker. Oh yes, I thought you have made your final point.
No,
but let
no. It's the last to go here.
No.
Let Masker speak. You then you speak. Yes, Masker, I can't hear you. You are muted.
Well, if you are going KJ, no wahala, let Mr. Ike speak. Most of the topics, I'm not a big deal on it. I just wanted to wish America well. I think it's a country that is built upon the concepts of hard work. I think the initial intention was good, but obviously circumstances have pushed the country into being an imperialist. But all the same, I think there's a lot that America has brought to the world. People like me, we admire it a lot. But we also know that it is a major problem, especially for the African continent. But be that as it may, on a day like this, I wish all Americans a happy, I don't know whether it's birthday or happy anniversary, happy independence. Whatever it is, I wish them well. That's all.
Thank you so much. America is a great nation, whether we like it or not. And I totally agree with you, Maska. I'm also where you stand. There's the good, the bad, and there's the ugly. And we always pray that the good will cannot override all the rest of them. Thank you, Maska. Bro Ike, yes, your final, so that we can quickly go over to Forefather, who has been waiting on the other side.
Yes, I will end about Papa Adeboye, but what I have here is the word of God, which the man of God preached, and which he is the head of a ministry, head of a church. So I am going to read from the Bible that he reads himself also, and all of us who are Christians read, okay? And I'm going to read from Jeremiah chapter 23, and I'm going to start from verse 20 to 24. That's where I'm going to end. And the Bible said in verse 20, the anger of the Lord will not turn back until he has set in motion and accomplished the thoughts and intentions of his heart. In the last days, you will clearly understand it. I did not send these counterfeit prophets, yet they ran. I did not speak to them, yet they prophesied. But if they had stood in my counsel, then they would have caused my people to hear my word. then they would have turned my people from their evil way and from the evil of their decisions and deeds. I am God who is at hand, says the Lord, and not a God far away. Can anyone hide himself in the secret places so that I cannot see him, says the Lord? Do I not fill heaven and the earth, says the Lord? Love you, Mama B. This is what I have to say concerning the man of God. And this is the word of God. It's not my word. And I believe time will tell in the life of Nigerian Christians and the leaders of Christians in Nigeria. Because most of us has abandoned the pulpit. And we are chasing prosperity and wealth. And because of that, we speak the voice of man. We are not speaking the voice of God. And that's why that the Spirit of God has left many men of God and their pulpit and their sanctuary. And have become an empty vessel that makes the noise. But my prayer for Nigeria as a country and Christians and leaders of churches in Nigeria, that the only thing that the word of God has commanded each and every one of us is to lead people to the ways of the Lord. Teach people the right life to live. But I pray that God on his own, because he said he's not far from us. And he says that, is there any of us here who can hide from him? Is there any secret place in your house, KJ, where you can say you are going to hide that God is not going to see you? No, because he's everywhere. He's here even as we are talking now. So I wish America happy Independence Day. It's a blessed country. And like you said, there are the good, the bad, and the ugly. But always the good will overtake the evil. You know, that has always been our prayer. And I believe that I pray that the day shall come when Nigeria, that the good will be able to overcome the evil so that we can call it our own country. God bless you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Over the removing can't wake up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I thank you for that submission, and I'll end it there. I will not even try to do any catch up. I really appreciate all of you who have come. Dr. Damages had to step out, and I just stepped in. So, if you didn't feel the thing went the way you wanted, please hold on. Forefather is coming right off as I switch off now. Forefather is going to come in and he's going to continue from where we didn't take. There are many topics we didn't take. This Pastor Adeboye's topic, I was only able to just touch on it briefly. And then even the fake government offices that are there in Nigeria, we didn't discuss that to a conclusive end. But be that as it may, all we are trying to do on this channel is to draw your attention to what we must do to get a nation like the ones that we are all in outside of Nigeria. What we must do, we must constantly not be afraid to tell the truth. Today we celebrate America because of one thing. The people set out their mind to build a nation for themselves. And today we can see 250 years later, America is a beacon. Whether you like America or not, America stands mighty in the affairs of nations of the earth. And if you are in the mind of God and you look on the earth, you will see America also playing a very vital role. And I think that for those who think America, is falling apart, you better think again. This nation is solid, very solid, and is moving straight ahead. So as we pray for America, we pray that the next 250 years will be more blossom and more better than the one they are coming through. Our desire, I've always thought, for me as a person, I know that if America was not on earth, the earth will never be the same. So we celebrate America, we celebrate our flag, we celebrate our people, we celebrate all the help they give around the world. We also celebrate the things they've done that we are not so happy about. We say we hope the next 250 years to come, they will think about those places that didn't work very well, and they will have a desire to change it. At the end of the day, no nation can be God to all the other nations. So a nation will always play the role of a nation. And so we thank God for America. On this channel, we wish all Americans the best that God can ever give. And that's our position. Thank you so much. As for those of us who are in Nigeria, we seek to be a nation like America, or even more better, where people's justice and righteousness can reign, where good will be called good and evil will be called evil. And that's one thing anybody who knows America cannot take away from them. They call good good and they call evil evil. And even if they don't want to call it that way, assuming they want to play, you know yourself that they are not, ready to call that. But not because they're trying to cheat you or trying to, no. That's one thing I know that I've seen and I've been able to see. They call good good. And that's one thing that is good. Let us learn to call good good and call evil evil. By the way, let us also follow this thing. Please don't keep quiet. Don't go and rest. Let's follow this fake government parastatal that have operated and given this Bolaji Ahmed Tinubu's administration a very terrible name. Let's follow it up on the internet. Let's follow it up and make sure that if there are other fake agencies that are not known, we all uncover them and bring them to the fore. By the way, before people start looking for journalists to attack, the journalist is not your problem. We are only reporting what we see. Don't make them your prime target. And it's not tribal thing. This is not tribal. This is what we have found, seen ourselves, where we have found ourselves in this time of our nation building. It is nobody's. It's not a Yoruba thing. It's not an Igbo thing. It's not a Hausa thing. It's not a Fulani thing. It's not a Kanuri thing. It's not a Chief thing. It's not a Basange thing. It's just people are people. Evil will be evil. Many people choose to do evil not because they are from one particular tribe, or because they choose to do evil. On that faithful note, we say thank you to everyone who has contributed to this program, especially my darling sister, Tokwe, for real. Oriako Tokwe, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you also, Oriako Tokwe again. Thank you so much. Thank you also, my friend, Kulata. Thank you so much. And yes, Sir Alexandra Gomez, thank you for your contributions. This will go a long way to helping us to run this program. Please, before you sign off, make sure you go and like it and share it. We are over 200 in this on this broadcast. Please, we'll have less than 100 likes. Please just do us a favor. Go to the like section and like it and share it. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. The subscription is free. We're not charging anybody. Just subscribe so that the program can reach more people. On that faithful note, thank you. And if you are still having a holiday time like I do here, hold on, because Forefather is coming with more fiery, more very argumentative, everything fire. Okay, and because he's also on motherland, he's going to be able to bring you information that's coming right from the grapevine, things that we may not have opportunity to discuss here, which is experiencing firsthand. On that, you please do join him as we sign off. Thank you so much and have a great holiday.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed?
You, yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You're laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam, thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. By the end of the year, how are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son. Ask your daughter. How to, just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.